35 years ago, 9 women came together to form a women's club side at Bramley Road. At the time, it was with the aim of establishing a team in North London so players didn't have to travel as far for matches. Little did they know that over 3 decades later, Saracens Women would have turned into the powerhouse that it is today. 15 league titles, 11 cup triumphs later, all built upon the foundations of those pioneers back in 1989. This afternoon at StoneX Stadium, the current crop of Saracens women are determined to put on a show for those legends and the fans. Allianz Premiership Women's Rugby is back. This is live, it's the run-in, it's Saracens Women versus Sale Sharks. It's a glorious day here at StoneX Stadium as Allianz Premiership Women's Rugby returns after a 2-month hiatus. The internationals are back for both sides, and with a crowd of around 1,500 expected in here this afternoon, it's set to be a raucous occasion. Big name stars are back for both sides as Saracens hunt a home semi-final and Sale look to climb off the foot of the table. It's a day when Saracens are celebrating their own club history, while Sale will be looking to make their own with a first ever victory over the North Londoners. We're into the home run now with 4 rounds to go and a sprint finish into the playoffs. And it's fair to say it's hotting up both on and off the field in the English domestic game. Well, good afternoon and a very warm, quite literally warm welcome to North London. It is absolutely sweltering down here today, and I'm delighted to say that I'm joined by Rosie Gallagher. And Rosie, great to have you with us. We'd obviously much rather see you out on the pitch, but let's just start with the weather first of all. How good is it to finally have this weather out and league rugby back underway?
Yeah, it's amazing. It feels like ages ago that we were here. My last game was down in Bristol, and the girls have rights and wrongs since then at Bristol, but to be back here at StoneX Stadium playing in the PWR in the sunshine and the occasion that it is today, we're just really excited to be here. Like you said, we'd rather be on the pitch, but glad to be with you today.
Let's just talk a little bit about that season so far. It feels like a long time ago that the league first got underway back in November. There's been plenty of twists and turns so far. From a Sarries perspective, how would you sum it up?
I think, like you said, there's been lots of twists and turns. We've had really positive moments where we started to see our game plan come together, and then we've also had moments where we've been a bit lower than we needed to be, and we need to find ways to get out of that rut. So I know for a fact the girls have been putting in so much work to make sure that they come out after this break and that they're all guns blazing, ready for the next few weeks. 4 big games to go, a home semi-final on the line, something to play for this time of season, I suppose always gives you that extra 10%. Yeah, massively, and I think that's something that we thrive off. We love competition. We want to be the best team, and we want to be in at least those top 2 spaces in the next couple of weeks. So for us, it's all about getting those spaces. It's about making sure that we keep working together, keep putting in performances, and putting ourselves in the best position for the end of the season.
Well, as you said, a big end of the season coming up, but it's been a brilliant campaign so far right across the league. And if you have missed the first 14 rounds of the season, here's what you should have been watching and what you can still watch for the final 4 rounds.
This season on TNT, we've had the power. As we approach the run-in, let me take you through the runners, the riders, the also-rans too.
To the Great White North, Sale in 9th, Ragoni with the X Factor. Plenty for Rachel Taylor to ponder. But can the Sharks find their bite next season?
Next up, a team learning their ABCs. Leicester Tigers join the league. Meg Jones doing special things in the red, green and white hoops. The quarters won't make the semis this term, a difficult season for the girls in South West London. But a Quinn's ticket price is worth it for one girl alone when Ellie Kildun is doing Ellie Kildun things. Trailfinders as plucky underdogs have surprised the old guard and sit mid-table in their first term. Lightning struck a few times this season, but no real superstorms in Loughborough. And so to the top 4, immovable objects versus unstoppable forces. The Bears, yet again, chasing the big dogs down. Last year's finalists, Exeter Chiefs, are sitting outside of the top two. If avenging last year's final isn't enough of a carrot, Sandy Park playing host to this year's certainly will be. Marley's Wolfpackers won the trophy 3 times between 2018 and 2022, and they want the cup back in North London. An Englishman's home is his castle, but it's a Welshman who's had the reins here at Fortress Kingsholm. Gloucester Hartpury are unbeaten in the regular league season so far. In fact, of the 65 match points on offer, they've dropped just 1. So there we have it. Let the run-in commence. We'll see you around the grounds for a month or so, and then down in Devon for the final.
Is it cream then jam, or jam then cream?
Well, a fantastic taste of what we've already had so far this season there. Rosie, we've talked about the run-in, big games coming up for Saracens. Sale today, Exeter away, Gloucester Hartpury at home, Loughborough away. Which games there stand out for you the most?
I think all of them, to be fair, for different reasons. We're going to Exeter. We've never really performed down at Exeter, so it will be about going down there, making sure that we're best prepared and hopefully coming away with that win. Gloucester at home, they're champions from last year. They're on form at the minute. They've got some amazing players there as well. So that is a top of the table battle, and to have that a few weeks before a potential final as well, it could showcase where people are at. And then the Loughborough game, they've been building all season. They had a really rocky start, but actually they've started to put some really good rugby together. They've got the likes of Emily Scarrett back in the mix as well. And I think that she just kind of brings that team together and is a bit of a glue. So I think all of those games are hard. We're going to have to make sure that we get the next few weeks right. And like I've said before, put ourselves in the best position.
It's all about putting yourself in the best position, but let's talk about today a little bit more. The club's celebrating its 35th anniversary this year. There's plenty of alumni, founding members from back in 1989 coming down to watch the game. There's a bit of a shindig this evening as well. For you as players, what does it mean to have those pioneers, I suppose, who've laid the foundations for this club here today supporting?
Yeah, it's massive. I walked into the changing rooms earlier, and for the first time the girls have got their names on their shirts. They've also got little, in their cubby holes, they've also got the names of people that have been there before them. And that's just a really special touch, because unless you see it, you don't actually know what's happened before you. So it's a really nice gesture from the club. It's also a nice gesture because we've got a lot of friends that used to play a few years ago as well. There's a few older girls, but there's also a few girls that have only just recently retired. For example, Kat Evans, Rebecca Bushell. So to be able to catch up at StoneX, which has basically been a home for us for so many years now, it's just going to be a fantastic occasion. And yeah, I don't know where the night's going to take us, but it's definitely really special for the club and for all us women.
It is really special, as you say, and Saracens Women, founded in 1989 back at Bramley Road. A group of women came together to make sure there was a women's club side in North London and laid the foundations for what we have here now at StoneX Stadium. And this next VT features some of those founding members talking a little bit about those formative years of the club.
I'm Katie Ball. I'm a founder member at Saracens Rugby Club. I played front row. Off the pitch, I organised all the rotas for the kitchen, the bar and the club shop.
My name is Amanda Bennett. I'm one of the founding members. I was fly half. Off the pitch in the first season, I was fixture secretary.
I'm Emma Mitchell. I'm a founder member. I played scrum half for the team, and off the pitch I was the press and publicity officer.
My name's Janice Ross. I was one of the founder members. I played flanker and I was also the treasurer.
Back in 1989 there were only a few clubs established across the country. A lot of women's rugby was based in universities. A group of us had just graduated from Loughborough and set up another club down in Kent, but we felt as though there was really the space for another club in London to join Wasps and Richmond. Those early days it was all about trying to find somewhere to play, because not all clubs were open-minded and and supportive of women's rugby. So we had to come up with a proposal that appealed to the club. Saracens was the obvious choice. They were just coming back into what was then the first division. They'd been promoted back up.
We felt Saracens had the right atmosphere, ethos, values, and this is where we wanted to be. So the letter was written, you could call it luck, fate, but Maria Anderson, who was one of our founding players, worked with John Hegarden, who sat on the committee, and it was just by chance in a work conversation she said, well, we did write to Saracens, John, do you know? And he had no knowledge of this.
We actually then found out that the secretary at the time had read the letter about a group of women wanting to establish a women's section at Saracens and just said, women playing rugby? No. So he tore it up in the bin. Thankfully we had someone on the committee that could then raise that, and at the next committee meeting Sam Robson, one of the founder members, went and presented to them.
He was a fan, he was an advocate, and actually John was fantastic for us as a group of players and the introduction of the women's team into the club. He was, you know, he was very important to us, but the key was he understood the value we would bring. And so eventually, yes, the committee did discuss it, and yes, the committee did vote to bring women to the club. And I like to think, and we have been told that they've never looked back.
Their response was, we love the idea, we would like you to set up a women's section on 3 conditions. The first being, we have a club shop. We'd like you to take on running that. We'd also like you, when we have men's games and it gets very busy, we put burger bars out, help with behind the bar, help running the burger van. And the third thing is that we have a number of vice president lunches each year, and would like you to provide the waitressing staff for those lunches. As a 9, we talked that through and said, absolutely, would love to, and completely up for those conditions. And I guess that's a sign of the times that in those days, you needed to do things like that to just get in the door.
We were used to walking in and creating something from nothing, and we weren't afraid of hard work in order to do that. It wasn't just about the playing, it was about creating something very important, very dynamic, and that meant rolling your sleeves up.
My overriding memory will be a lot of laughter, because it was funny. We kind of did all these things that we had to do with tongue in cheek. We used to rib Emma Mitchell, who played for England at the scrum half, numerous caps, outstanding athlete, but had to work in the burger bar, and we still say to her, do you smell of beef burgers? So we still joke about that, and also when the burger van caught on fire, and so we do laugh about some of those things.
The good side of it was that we did become very integrated in the club, actually very quickly, and maybe quicker than we would have done. We probably would have gone to watch the men's games anyway on a Saturday, and we all had jobs stewarding, and so I think that was just part of it. But what we really wanted to do was play, and actually that was what was really exciting for me, was that, you know, the players who wanted to start it up were really exciting players to play with.
We all loved the sport of rugby, and we just wanted to keep playing, and we wanted to keep playing at a good club. So there was no negative feelings about it at all. We just took it as part of this is what you do, this is what you have to do.
Well, I'm delighted to say that one of those founding members has joined me now, Amanda Bennett. Amanda, it's fantastic to have you all here today. The weather's obviously known that you've all come in because the sun is out in glorious fashion. I know you've talked a lot before about the history of the club, those formative years, but just tell the viewers at home a little bit about 1989, how Saracens Women came to pass.
Hello, yes, delighted to be here. It is a beautiful day, and part of me thinks, slightly tongue-in-cheek, doesn't the pitch look wonderful? But I say that because obviously we used to play on grass pitches that were on a slope, where people walk their dogs. We might have to pick out bits of glass and other detritus off the pitch. And so in those days, we were welcomed into the club. We became the new women's section, but we had to earn our stripes a little bit. We had to contribute in interesting ways, such as feeding the men their dinners and clearing up after them, serving in the burger bar, stewarding the cars at the men's matches, and so on and so forth. But what it did was it opened the doors and it got us into the club. And, you know, the whole vibe, the ethos, the culture of the club, that's where we wanted to be. We wanted to be Saracens. And so we got the opportunity to play in those days in the Southgate, Bramley Road, club. It took us a while to get onto the first pitch, as our first team pitch. We'd play on the second or third pitch, mixed conditions. And look at where we are now. A beautiful sunny day. We're going to get thousands of people through the gates watching a stellar team perform here at the StoneX.
Just talk to us a bit about that first ever match then. Back in September 1989, that Northern Select 15, led by Jill Burns, coming down to play at Bramley Road. What are your memories of that day?
It was an amazing day for us because it was our first game and we felt we needed it to be something special. We wanted to put on a really good example of the women's game at that time. We had started with a number of internationals. There were 9 players originally who set up the women's team at Bramley Road. And we didn't just want to play the nearest side geographically, we wanted to get together. It was called the Northern 15, but again, a star-studded team led by Jill Burns. We had our internationals on the pitch, we had Welsh and Scottish and England internationals on both teams. So we felt it was important because there were people at the club who had never seen a women's game before. And so they turned up and they grabbed themselves some food and a beer and they stepped out into the stand at Bramley Road and thought, I wonder what this is going to be. And it was a really good game. It was of its time, high quality, very competitive. We absolutely loved it, and I'm pretty sure any sceptics in the stands on those days, they had their minds changed.
And just finally, you talk about the sceptics. 35 years ago that game was, but look at what we've got now, playing at StoneX Stadium, the 10th season the women's team have been here. Crowds, like you said, of thousands plus coming in every single week. The development of the women's game seems to have skyrocketed.
It is, and that's testament in part to what the national governing bodies are doing, the unions, what World Rugby is doing, and the trickle-down effect. But, we do go back 35 years when we were a group of women who had been playing rugby. We were still a bit of a rarity. And what we wanted to do was not just play, but to make a statement. We didn't realise it at the time, but I suppose we were pioneers of a fashion, and laid some of the groundwork for what followed. Saracens, another milestone today, 35 years of Saracens Women and 10 years of being at the StoneX. And here we are, we've got all of it laid on, beautiful pitch, beautiful stone, fantastic new West Stand, all the communications, the promotion, and then we look at the programme itself, full-time coaches, sports science and medicine. The whole programme is operating at such a high level, and it continues to attract young talent, ambitious players, and so on and so forth.
Well, Amanda, whilst we watch that stray ball that nearly hit us, it's fantastic to have you and so many of those club legends here with us today. And as you said, you didn't realise it at the time, but pioneers for what's to come. And I suppose in some ways, this current crop of players are as well for that next generation, that Saracens women's pathway that's coming through. And here's a look at what those under-18s get up to and what environment they're able to have as they come through the ranks.
So the Pathway programme at Oaklands is incredibly exciting. Players are able to combine their educational needs as well as their sporting needs. So they train like an elite athlete, but that is mirrored with their education, whether they want to do A-levels or BTECs or a combination of both. Alongside that then, the players then perform in the Performance League for the Association of Colleges, which is the highest league in the country.
We've got over 35 players there now in a full-time environment, which is, I think for us, is the biggest thing. The kind of rugby takes care of itself, but giving them a taste of a full-time environment, what that means as they make that step into senior rugby. Obviously, as we've seen, the Premiership's getting bigger and bigger in terms of where it's got, the standards getting higher and higher, so us to really narrow that gap and give the girls that exposure is real key. We're excited again with the players that are coming through into that this year.
It's just really fruitful to see the first 3 players really come through after 2 years in the programme. Obviously prior to that we've had Katie Johnson and Chloe Flanagan who've had 2 years as well, but this year we've seen both Joya, Daisy and Amelia really come on through that age grade system, in through the academy and then progress obviously into the senior team, which is so exciting.
Well, fantastic to look at the Saracens pathway there, but it's time to look at some of those head-to-head matchups today. And Rosie, they don't play the same position, but you've picked out Sarah Tunasi and Sharifa Kasolo as defensive leaders, if you like, for both teams.
Yeah, definitely. I think if we look at their clips, they both have those similar attributes. They want to get off the line. You see Tunasi here. You see her looking for the threat. She's scanning into the breakdown, but then getting off the line and taking basically out of the eyesight as the person's catching the ball. So she's been massive for Sale this year. You see her again, really flying, making that dominant hit and getting behind gain line. So Sarah really needing her in the defensive line. And then we look at Sharifa, for example. She's got a bit of a different role. She doesn't get off the line as quickly, I'd say, but she's so important in getting that fold, talking to other players around her, and then making those double tackles. And that is so important for the Saracens defensive system, that low tackle and that high tackle, well, not too high, but how they can work together to really get that drive and go forward. So both of them today are going to be pivotal for their teams, and hopefully Sharifa comes out on top.
You can really see it in those clips here of Sharifa Kasola as well, always talking, arm always out, gesturing where she wants players to go. And she's someone that's really grown into that Saracens jersey in this second season as well.
Yeah, massively. To see her, Georgia Evans and Marley Packer in the back row today, it's going to be a massive game for them. They've all got different attributes. You've got Marley the Jackal, you've got G that's a good ball carrier and mobile around the pitch, and then you've got Sharifa with those massive tackles. So really excited to see that back row come alive today.
Really excited to see how it comes alive for both teams today, but two people that are going to be really excited to see how it comes alive are the coaches for each team. And a little bit earlier we caught up with Rachel Taylor of Sale Sharks and Alex Austerbury of Saracens Women. Alex, it's been the best part of 2 months since you played in the league, but Grand Slam title for plenty of your Red Roses, and Allianz Cup title as well. What's the mood like with everyone back in camp?
Yeah, really positive. We had a celebration about the achievements of the individuals who've been away on international duty, the achievements of the group that stayed here, and then a collective celebration of that. And now it's looking forward to how quickly we can get back and make sure we get back to playing the Saracens way, to Saracen standards.
4 big games to go between now and the end of the regular season, hunting that home semi-final. Does the mindset change at this time of season?
I think the consequence of getting your mindset wrong is what changes. The importance of a home semi-final is huge, but we need to make sure we get back to playing the Saracens way today against a physical, tough Sale side. So the mindset in terms of how we approach things doesn't, but the consequences if we get it wrong probably become a little bit more stark and more evident. Like I said, that home semi-final is vital, and we've got to hit the ground running today.
Talking about getting the ground running, as a final question, you've got 70 of the club legends and alumni back here watching the game today. I know the club have been celebrating it throughout the season, but what does it mean to you as players and staff to have them here?
Yeah, I think 35 years have been at the pinnacle of the game, and I say it often, and I'll keep saying it. We're on the shoulders of giants. Some of those legends who've played for the club have done incredible things to establish the side, to drive it forward, and we're working off the back of their great work. And it's very emotive. It's very inspiring to have them here and have the opportunity to celebrate. Obviously, we've got one piece of silverware this year, and we need to make sure that when when the legends of the game are in the audience today, that we put on a showing that's really shows them how much we care about the club, how much we care about them being here, and the passion and drive to make sure that in 35 years' time this club has still stood on the shoulders of stalwarts.
Brilliant. Well, Alex, best of luck this afternoon.
Thank you.
Rachel, the league is back, the sun is shining, and a big final 4 games for your side to lay down a marker, I suppose.
Yeah, it is. We're 3 games. Obviously, we have a bye in between, but ahead before the game against Leicester, which is great for us. But yeah, it's super nice to be back with a bang. Internationals returning, it's real good energy, and like you said, the sun's out, so adds an extra bit of intense today.
Your internationals are back, but some good momentum building from those cup games as well against Loughborough. I know you didn't get the aggregate win, but lots of new players getting important minutes as well.
Yeah, definitely has. We took that as part of our cup intention, was really about encouraging the depth that we've got within the squad and giving them playing opportunities, and that was really successful this campaign, and hopefully we'll see some of those players starting in the Premiership next year.
And for you today, everybody knows the challenge of Saracens at StoneX Stadium, but your side in the last few seasons have run them close and asked some really important questions of them, so I suppose you're looking to do the same today.
Yeah, I think we enjoy coming down here. It's always we know it's going to be a contest. Look, they are where they are in the table, and they've got some brilliant players, and so a lot of their internationals are back today as well, so there'll be a really tough challenge for us physically, but that brings out the best in us at times, and I think we're fortunate not to have any pressure in terms of today's performance, so it's about going out there and seeing what we can do for probably the next 2 games in the season.
And just the final one then, everybody talks about Beatrice Rigoni, but back in that 13 shirt, she's been playing 10 a fair amount this season. What are you expecting her to bring to the party back in her more natural position, let's say?
Yeah, look, we know what she does in attack. She has that X factor that everyone talks about, and it's great that she's already back in training, being back to her usual self with the passes between the legs and things. But for us today, it's about her role that she plays at 13 in defence. We're hoping to cut out a lot of that wide play, so we'll see if that gets us success.
Brilliant. Well, Rachel, best of luck this afternoon.
Thank you very much.
Well, Rosie and I have made our way up to the commentary box. Rosie, I tell you what, it's glorious down there. It's a little bit nippy up here, isn't it?
Yeah, I have just put my jumper on, but we can't complain. The girls are the ones that are out on the pitch today, and the sun is shining.
Well, the sun is shining, the crowd are coming in, there's party vibes on the PA system as well. It's been a while since we've last played. Let's have a look at the league table. Well, Gloucester Hartpury 13 from 13, a home semi-final secured. Saracens in second place, 3 points ahead of Exeter, 4 points ahead of Bristol, albeit with a game in hand on them. The Chiefs, the Bears, both need 1 or 2 points each to mathematically confirm semi-finals, but it's pretty obvious who the top 4 are going to be now. And Sale obviously at the foot of the table, but looking to close the gap on Leicester Tigers. Here's the fixtures this afternoon. Harlequins Women versus Leicester Tigers. That's a 3 p.m. kickoff. This one here against Sale Sharks Women 2:30, and Trailfinders Women against Exeter Chiefs at 3 p.m. with Loughborough Lightning hosting Gloucester Hartpury tomorrow. The Chiefs know a win today will secure themselves a playoff place, and it's Bristol this weekend with that bye round. Let's have then a really brief look at those teams for you. And we'll start with Saracens. 11 internationals returning to this squad. Gondwy, Campbell, Clifford, McIntosh, Taylor, Evans, Casolo, Packer. As Rosie was saying in the build-up, that is a formidable back row. And then an all-international back line. 6 English, 1 Scot in Corinne Grant. And Sarah McKenna, her first start at 15 this season. Sale Sharks as well then. Well, they've got a number of players missing on international duty with Pack 4, but they still have plenty of experience in that team. Rigoni we picked out at 13, Neve Swales, young, incredibly talented hooker, and well, a potential debut for Amelia Hindman as well at 16 should she come on. A very brief look at the replacements then. We'll look at the Saracens bench there. That's packed with talent, different age ranges, different abilities, but Donna Rose, Louise McMillan back from international duty, Amelia McDougall at 22, and Isla Alejandro ready for a 3rd league appearance of the season. Sale Sharks, well, like we said, Hindman on the bench, a potential debut. Iona Antwis as well, the first time this season that she hasn't started for Sale Sharks. Well, Rosie, whilst we're waiting for the teams to make their way out onto the pitch, you can see some of those club legends there saying hello to each other. There's Amanda Bennett, who we spoke to earlier, and well, we were going to talk about the matchup, but I think we've got all of those club alumni down below us. How special is it to have them tunnelling the girls out as well?
Yeah, it's fantastic to see. You see, there's a lot of different age groups there, and actually you can see how well they're all getting on. So it's just so special to be a part of this Sarries family, and unless you've been part of it, you don't really know what it's about. But it's going to be an incredible day, and can't wait to celebrate with them later.
Well, it's your second time back at Saracens this season. I don't think Sarries would want to talk about where you went for a few years in terms of London rivals Harlequins, but you said about that family. Women's rugby as a whole is such a big family as well. So many of those women down below us played for multiple clubs and laid the foundations for what we've got today.
Yeah, definitely, and I think you think about the girls that played at Bramley Road, picking up litter before they're playing, and actually we have to remember how far we've come and how lucky we are to be playing at such an incredible stadium, and it's only going to go up from here.
It really is a special occasion. The teams are slightly late out onto the pitch, so we'll wait for them to make their mark. But yeah, like you said, Rosie, such a special occasion, such a special family. But women's rugby is only going to go up and up from here. It has to go up and up from here. And so many people have talked about 2025 as that golden opportunity to do just that.
Yeah, 100%. And before 2025, we've got a lot of rugby to play. We've got WXV, we've got our Six Nations, and we've also got our domestic league that is growing year by year. So although 2025 only feels like it's around the corner, we've still got a lot of rugby to play, and we're definitely going to be making sure that we make our mark before that World Cup final.
a lot of rugby still to be played, as Rosie said, and that's over the next 12 to 18 months. But this season as well, very quickly on those permutations for you, as we said, Exeter and Bristol knowing they just need a couple of points to secure the semi-finals. Sarries know 12 from 20 will secure a home semi-final against one of those sides. And well, you can see below us the Sarries coaching team slightly late out onto the pitch. There's Alex Austerbury and Mo Boter going past us. Whilst we're just waiting for the players, Rosie, Mo has come in this season as forwards coach, played for Saracens Men, played for England, had one for Garlow here last year, but having sort of that acumen, if you like, that rugby nous coaching you week in, week out must be brilliant.
Yeah, I think Mo's got different skill set to what Figalo did, but I think he's definitely brought a different string to his bow, and the girls respond really well to him in terms of that set piece and the knowledge and detail that he wants to bring to the game. So it's just a case of making sure that everyone buys in week on week, and I know that Mo does a lot of analysis behind closed doors, so really believing in him and backing it.
So we've just been told there is a roughly a 5-minute delay on kick-off, just a few things going on behind the scenes, but well, Rose, that gives us a bit more time to talk things through. You said obviously how good Mo is there, but Duncan Taylor as well for that backs team has been brilliant.
Yeah, not only for the backs but for the energy of the group. Duncan brought a new lease of life, I'd say. He's a free spirit, he loves his rugby, he's so passionate about what he does that it's so important for us, and every single week he brings in sweets for the backs for their meetings. Us forwards aren't very happy about that. We think that he should share and sometimes give us some instead. But yeah, he's just a great bundle of energy and really passionate about the women's game now. I think coming into the setup he probably didn't really know what he was going to expect, but I think we've shown him what we're about and where we can go.
And someone that's managed to fit right in, as you said. Well, the subs are out now, the club legends are out as well. And well, a couple of players running past our cameraman down there whilst we wait for both teams. Look down there, the likes of Kat Evans, Sonia Green, 329 games for Saracens Women. I think that amount of games is impressive for anybody, but for one club, Rosie, as well.
I don't know how she's still going, to be fair. StoneX had a fantastic innings, pretty similar to Duncan. She lives and breathes what it is to be a Saracen. She epitomises it. So to be able to see Sonic off in style this year, she won the cup in Bristol, and we'd love to obviously win that trophy for her as well and be double champions this year.
I think obviously everybody saw the Sonic headgear and masks as well. A Lottie Clap special, we were told, in terms of the organisation on that one. The sale subs then are coming out below us, as we said, just a 5-minute delay building up to kick off. But here come the Sharks now, being led out onto the pitch by Lauren Delaney in that light blue away strip this afternoon. Delaney will be so important for her side today at fullback. Zoe Harrison at 15 for Sarries. And here comes Marley Packer leading out Saracens Women through the club legends, through the Guard of Honour and out onto the pitch. Great scenes down there, great scenes in the crowd. It's got a slightly different feel to it to the previous games we've had here so far today, Rosie. I don't know whether there's legends being there, the sun's out, a combination of the both, but it feels like a little bit of a party atmosphere starting to build as well.
I think for the internationals it's really exciting to come back to club rugby. You're in a bubble for so long that the energy, the weird energy actually when we first came back, just being really excited to be back at Saracens, I think that's probably shown today, and I know a lot of girls are just really excited to be on the pitch. We've been working so hard over the last few weeks and months. The girls in the Cup have really paved the way for what we want to achieve in the next couple of weeks. So yeah, I think everyone's just buzzing to be out there. It's an occasion in itself, and we know that we need to get the job done before we can party later.
Well, the job to be done, as you said. There's our referee in the middle today. And there's some shots there. Sonia Green, Amy Garnett, legends of the club, legends of the game, former captains as well actually. But we are now finally ready to get underway, and it will be Sarah Law of Sale Sharks that has the honours. Shrill blast of the referee's whistle. And here we go in the sun, and it's Packer with that first hard carry into contact. There's Georgia Evans, hit hard. Viervas Harrison, boot to ball. And that's taken well there by Sarah Law. In at fly half today for the Sharks. Sale looking to play a bit of fast ball to start the game. That was really held onto there by Joe Brown. That was juggling and bobbling all over the place. And Sale continuing to ask questions here. Good hands there from Sherma.
Back clear.
Tanesi looks to get the ball away. Joe Brown again is on her shoulder.
Wait.
Law out to Perrin. Rigoni. That one's bobbled and bounced and looked somewhat forward, but play on the call. And Sale continuing to drive hard there. Holly Borden with the carry, and this is positive stuff from Sale as Harper breaks free. Grieve into Talling, and now, well, we picked out Tanasi in the build-up. She's doing everything so far. Thought about the kick through there, but Holly Thorpe gets herself into the 22.
Clear release.
Yeah, she's everywhere at the minute. You've seen her both in attack and defence, but I think it's the offload game for me at the minute. Sarah trying to play. They're trying to just play on top.
It's not quite worked out there with the offload finally, and McIntosh to Taylor. That one sticks, and Saris have their hands on the ball.
Thank you.
There's a Sale player down in the backfield, but Viervas, Harrison, stops, checks, goes. Zoe Harrison is through. Zoe Harrison races clear, steps, still looks and gets the ball to Jess Breach, the speedster. In a blink of an eye, Saracens go the length, and it's Jess Breach crossing for her 7th of the season. Sale have had all of the possession, all of the play for the first 2.5 minutes. But Rosie, it's Saracens that strike first, and that was deadly.
Yeah, that was a fantastic try. It came actually from the defensive effort. There was a few people. Marley Packer, she got off the line quickly, put in a tackle, and then also just being patient in defence. It's not about rushing today. It's about breaking them down in the first 20 and then playing on top. But like you see here from Zoe, she shows and goes. She knows that the spaces are on. She's got the pace, she's got the vision, and obviously her best mate Jess Breach is on there on the wing, ready to look good under the posts.
It's not the first time we've seen that combination. It won't be the last time we see that combination, but Jess Breach playing on the wing for Saris for the first time this season. She's been playing at fullback, was wearing that 11 jersey for the Red Roses, and actually that game awareness that she's built in both positions now is so important to her country and her club, as Harrison has the extras.
Yeah, being able to cover a variety of positions is always helpful. It adds strings to your bow, it adds different skill sets, different visions, and I think Jess really has come alive in the Six Nations recently. Seeing her on the wing is always fun. She's got the feet, she's got the gas, and she knows how to link up as well. She can start playing on the shoulders of Zoe at 10, coming up and popping up around different breakdowns and offering something different. So Jess, yeah, she's really come alive.
You could see there, as soon as Jess Breach got the ball in her hands, there was going to be no doubt about that. Saris then clear that one up the field from the restart. Sarah McKenna.
Yeah, it's a clever bit of play from McKenna. You don't really want to be playing in your own 22, so just releasing that pressure, putting the pressure back on Sale's set piece. I know for a fact that Saris have been doing a lot of homework on this week, so they'll be going for it now.
Sarah McKenna in
we've got
at
2
15,
receivers.
her
Who's in?
first start
You come
of
in
the
then,
season
please.
in that position, as we said. Moved to 12 last season, but that experience, that nous all around the park for Saris, as that
Clearly
lineup
not
doesn't
straight.
quite work for Sale. It's going to serve her side so well in this run-in.
Scrum.
It's going to be a scrum for Saris, but let's have a quick look at your screen there. That step and that go from Zoe Harrison, and then that awareness and the pass free. Rosie, lots of people see Zoe as a brilliant kicker at 10, and she is, but that attacking game and that awareness of space as well, what makes her one of the world's best.
Yeah, Zoe's got an amazing boot, probably one of the best in the women's game, and she's also a really good distributor, but being able to play an attack and still give an option as a threat in that 10 shirt is really vital. Just to be able to offer different things to the defence, it keeps the defence on their toes and they can't get too wide too early.
Just make sure you take your bind. She's not pushing you back, so you should be able to get your bind. We'll go again.
Referee there saying that neither side taking the bind early doors. So we'll have another go at the scrum. Rosie, I am going to ask you the question. I've asked the question of every forward that we've had up in the commentary box this season, but scrum resets, frustration, enjoy them because you get to go into the scrum a bit more, or would you prefer chucking the ball around?
I think you always just want the scrum done, but if you get a good platform from a second scrum, we'll take it.
Well, that was a great platform for Saracens, and there's Gregson.
He's not on the ball.
9 years in the making, her caps for England in the Six Nations, and she, well, more than took her chance off the bench. There's Fee McIntosh, newly capped Scotland international. Infante to Packer. Clifford tidies that one up, and there's Harrison and McKenna, and McKenna's seen that space for Breach to go again, and that is textbook. Jess Breach cuts inside, cuts outside, gets the offload away, doesn't quite connect, and now Rigoni's got a chance for the Sharks.
Okay. Onside.
Incredible passage of play, and then Breach charges it down, picks it up, and now backs herself again, steps inside, and Jess Breach is at the double. A wild, chaotic few minutes of rugby there. Jess Breach started it with the break, makes up for it with the charge down. Well, she's enjoying herself in the sunshine this afternoon, Rosie.
The Jess Express has turned up at StoneX today. No, Jess, really good work there. I actually think the pass was on to May on that first occasion. I don't think May was probably expecting it. But just coming from Zoe Harrison, McKenna with the vision to get it over the top. Jess caught it perfectly. She's got the feet. She's got that little shuffle that she does, and then I think she could have potentially backed herself here, but she's seen May hitting a hard line, and like you said, she's made up for it on that charge down, and she's over the try line again.
Well, have a look there, Jess Breach just dotting that ball down with relative ease, and there she is there. Harrison lining up the conversion as well down below us. We said it's the first time today that Saracens Women have had names on the back of their shirts. Well, Jess Breach is making sure she's the headline act early doors this afternoon. Harrison lines that kick up, hits the post with McKenna holding the ball on the tee for her, but that wind down there today, Rosie, it's a strong one. It's strong up here for us, and it's going to be a challenge for the kickers. As we look at that crossfield kick from McKenna again, that was just scintillating.
It was perfect, and you saw McKenna actually looking up and scanning a lot earlier than what she kicked it. She kind of knew that it was on. She would have been communicating with Jess probably a phase earlier, trying to get on board and being on the same wavelength. So them two have worked really hard together, and I think having McKenna back into the setup is only going to be pay dividends for Saracens.
So it's 12-0 to Saracens here. They're starting at a rate of knots, and they've got the ball in their hands again. And there's space here. McKenna, Taylor, Breach already hunting a hat-trick, but Taylor tackled well there. And there's May Campbell back in that familiar 2 jersey, having been a standout at 6 in the Allianz Cup. And Harrison, that was nearly intercepted, and Packer does well. Not rolling away though, the call there, and a penalty against the Sharks as Packer just stays down on the ground for a second, slightly winded there with the speed she had to take that one at. And
do you want time off?
Gone tweet.
Time off.
Has a word, but time off calls the referee for a bit of treatment for Packer.
Yeah, we've spoken about Sale and what they want to bring in defence. It was spoken about earlier that in the grand scheme of things, they don't have anything to lose in this fixture, so they're going to be wanting to put big shots on those big players out there and taking the breath out of them quite literally. But yeah, we've just seen the likes of Tunisia really leading in that, but also other players stepping up to the mark. Moena Talling, one of the biggest dominant tacklers in the England squad, and she'll be there today trying to bring her team up with her and putting those shots on to keep them behind the game line.
I'll give you time, let's go.
You can see there just one last angle of that try. Sale really trying to play that offloading game, which is brilliant to see, but then just Breach the awareness on the charge down, picking it up racing through. And the good news for Saracens is that Marley Packer is back on her feet. And I tell you what, in that wind, that is some nudge from Zoe Harrison.
On the edge there, please.
Big old distance on that one. And her side are back where they want to be again. But the line out doesn't connect. That was a problem for Saracens prior to the Six Nations break. Much improved in the Allianz Cup, and in the wind today it's going to be difficult for both teams. Harper got the ball away well there, and there's Talling. Law, Tinassi to Rigoni, her international colleague, not quite on the same wavelength, and Sale under pressure, back in their 22 again here. Harper with the carry, but she's lost the ball forward, and another glorious attacking opportunity for Saracens here. Rosie, it's great to see Sale trying to play this all-court game, but it's that lesson, isn't it, for any team about where to play and what are the right areas of the field.
Rigoni will be disappointed with herself there. That was just a handling error, but I've seen them just clap hands, put it to bed, and they'll now scrimmage to obviously try and keep themselves safe here. But I think it's really exciting that they are trying to play a free game. They're trying to get those offloads off. They're trying to play through their key playmakers, and I think Rigoni could do something special today. She's got the skill set. It's just whether people are on the same wavelength as hers. I think that's sometimes something that doesn't happen at Sales. That people aren't always being able to pick up on what she's thinking next.
I suppose the more time they have together as well with Rigoni, that will only help. That Saracen scrum that's moving forward, and there's Virvas, Harrison, Bridger, try number 3. The fans next to us go mental. Sophie Bridger, her second try for Saracens, her first for Saracens at StoneX Stadium, and they're enjoying themselves in the sun, and it's Zoe Harrison, the architect again, Rosie.
Yeah, that was picture perfect from the scrum. They got the go forward, they had the momentum from that first scrum. Ella Virvas played it out to Zoe Harrison, who drew out the defence, left a massive gap on the inside, and Bridger actually looked to pass it again, but she was like, hold on a second, there's a massive gap in front of me, I am taking that and I am scoring. So really good vision. I think Zoe's really important in pulling that defence out, and then Bridger just touching down. She'll be really happy with that one.
See her celebrating there. You can see her sort of literally skipping gleefully back to the halfway line. She's delighted with that. Saw Sophie Bridger this morning actually when she walked into the changing room and saw her name on a Saracen shirt for the first time. Really, really nice moment, and it's such a simple thing, but it's something that should be the norm.
Yeah, it's a bit of a pinch me moment, to be fair. It's always nice being able to represent your family
Yeah, I mean,
name.
he started to lose shape, but they played it away, so I'm happy to play away from that.
Well, it's 19-0 here after 12 minutes of the game. Saracens flying, doing what they need to do. That's not what Sale needed to do. That one has not gone 10 and has gone straight out. And Saris, hear the referee there, opting for the scrum.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me that they've gone for the scrum. From what we just saw with that try from Bridger, they had a really good go forward in their scrum setup. So I think for them it will just be that confidence of, can we try and go for a scrum pen now and then get even further down the field. We saw that there was a slight overthrow on the last line out, so I can understand why they went for the scrum in this one.
It's a bit of a coach killer, that really, isn't it? 19-0 down, started this game so well as well, let's not forget, and now staring down the barrel of a 19-0 deficit. Sale just need to get themselves some territory and some possession here, but Saracens aren't giving them a sniff, and that scrum going forward. Packer keeping it in, drawing the advantage.
Play it now.
Told to play it, but the penalty comes.
Number 7, lost binds.
Yeah, and that is perfect from Saracens. They should be really happy with that. Georgia Evans giving everyone high five, and the control from Marley at the back to be able to keep that in and get that penalty is really pivotal for this point of play. I think the girls are really relaxed into the game now. You can see that they're confident in what they're doing.
We'll stick them on the line, feet.
They've set themselves a good platform, but they're also not going away from the basics of running hard and getting that breakdown sorted.
And that's the thing, isn't it? Sticking to those basics, doing everything they need to do at the moment to get themselves into those positions. And I have to say, Tinassi at the front, they're doing brilliantly to turn that ball over initially, but Saracens get it back. There's Evans. Virvas, Packer coming on at pace, tackled well there by Joe Brown. And Harrison, Grant again to breach, hunting the hat-trick, stepping, cutting, tackled well by Perrin. Casolo, Harper with the tackle. And Packer again. It's just wave after wave from Saracens, and Gondwy now.
Thank you.
And Campbell sees the gap, goes, adds the fourth, dots it down. And Sarries are flying here, Rosie. 14 minutes in, bonus point in the bag, and it's just wave after wave of brutal attack, but built on those basics, like you said.
That is the classic May Campbell snipe. She does it in training, and now it's paid rewards, so she'll be happy with that one. It's just the vision again. Ella playing fast from the breakdown, which has come because we've got two over and created a really solid platform. And then just that vision to see there's a bit of a space there. I'm going to have a go.
Harrison adding the conversion, so it's 26-0. And as you said, the classic May Campbell snipe. We saw it in that Allianz Cup final, picking that line off the shoulder of Sarah McKenna. And sort of, people like to say she's a flanker playing at hooker, but she really is in terms of that skill set as well. Yeah,
and I think she actually played there a few times in the Cup, didn't she? And it's probably quite nice to have your head out of the scrum sometimes, so I don't think she would have been complaining too much. But just being able to play, having that vision to go, and also that strength to break off tackles.
It's 26-0 here, and you can see May Campbell dotting the ball down, hugging Virvas, and well, Sale, you have to say it, Saracens have been clinical, Saracens have been ruthless, but they've also been pouncing on those Sharks' mistakes. And Sale go long. Harrison drills that one down the field, taking play inside that Sale half, and a Sharks line out, a chance for much needed possession, Rosie. It feels like it's been all Saracens after that first 2 minutes.
Yeah, Sarah Law decided to change things up a bit then and kick to the left. I think that's probably happened because they've realised that they're not actually getting success from their first game plan, so this now is a really big platform for them to try and get the ball back and actually play a bit of attacking rugby.
Good line out from the Sharks, click ball to Sian Jones, and now they come at pace, looking to spin it out. Rigoni with the pass, and now there is that opportunity, and here come the Sharks. Pass doesn't quite connect, but it's gone backwards, and it's tidied up well there by the Sharks. Looking down that short side.
Let go.
Linking, playing the ball through here, Sale. This is what we've come to see from them so far this season, and that's a clever kick from Sian Jones. You can hear the referee saying not a 50-22, but good play from Sale, hemming Sarries back down into their 22, and they need to be doing more of that now as the game progresses.
Yeah, it started with a really good line out. Moena Talon taking it in the air and giving it a straight direct pass down to Sian Jones at 9.
We're going to stop because she's close. Time off.
Simple rugby. We've spoke about it before, and I think today is what that's going to be about.
Guys, just
carrying the ball hard, securing the breakdown, and then passing again. And I think Sarries will probably be a bit disappointed in that defensive effort. A few soft tackles, and if we look back to what we spoke about with Sharifa earlier,
I'm just saying that on your
that's
line
the kind of tackles that we need to be making to stop Sale's momentum in this game. So yeah, I think Sarries will want to try and get themselves a bit more ahead, but that comes from Sale trying to play fast and actually being on the front foot.
Time on.
I think that's the thing today as well, isn't it? Looking at the conditions, you've got two sides that want to play. Pressure on this line out though for Campbell, and McIntosh takes that well at the back. Sarries look to set that maul now. Campbell with her hands on it.
Once. Hold that, please. Hold. Take a step backwards.
Virvas is having to hunt for that one.
Use it now!
She puts boot to ball. Good distance on that. Bobbles into touch. An attacking opportunity for Sale now, though. We saw the threat that they have in those sort of midfield areas, if you like, of the pitch. And but if this line out goes to plan, they'll be looking to bring that all-court game back onto the pitch again.
Stay on the edge.
That was good clearance from Ella Virvas. Just knowing where she is on the pitch and knowing that we can relieve that pressure. But same again. Sale will be wanting to put pressure on Saracens now.
McIntosh then with the steal. She's only played 5 games this season, Fee McIntosh. That's already her 5th line-out steal.
Available user,
Absolute master of the air there. And there's Packer.
Ball was always out there, ball out.
Harrison puts boot to ball, keeping that one low again, and Sale tracking back with Delaney. To Harrison, and that kicking game looked like it was going to begin before the fly half picks and goes herself to Corinne Grant.
No!
Grant put in that
You're
player
fine.
of the
Seven's
match
gotta roll
display
first.
for Scotland against Wales.
Seven's impeded the clean
in the
out,
opening
not
round
you.
of the Six Nations, and Ragoni then penalised for not rolling away.
Just there, please.
You can hear that drum over on the other side. You can hear the crowd
roll.
building nicely as well.
Yeah, he prevented the clean.
And then attacking Saracens line out again.
I'm sure she can do it quickly.
It'll be interesting to see what they do here. Do they try and keep it in and get that go forward, or do they use their backs like they've been doing all game and get that good
backwards
that ball
off blue,
wide early?
play on!
Nothing now,
Onside,
unfortunately.
please, take a step.
In the end, as you said there, Rosie, it doesn't matter. The line out doesn't
Use
quite
it,
work
please.
in the blustery conditions. And Sale get that one away through Sian Jones, and Harrison has to mop up, tidy up, spins it to McKenna. Boot to ball from the fullback.
Everyone on, she's run 5.
And Jones again.
Stand still. Play on now, you're fine.
Jess Breach this time. She is going to look to
Stop,
kick there.
6 and
Jess
8.
Breach,
Okay,
you've seen
now,
the
you're on
space. Tidied up in the backfield
Backwards
there by
again,
Perrin.
play on,
Gone
all
backwards,
backwards.
says the referee. She has a second bite at the cherry and does
No.
incredibly well there to stay in the fight for her side. And Sale again on the ball.
Play penalty advantage.
A penalty advantage coming here
It's number
as
5,
well for the
isn't it, on that
Sharks.
tackle, I think.
Jones to Harper. Solo with the hit. Evans unable to make an impact, and Jones has seen some space for a little chip over the top. Let's just see what the referee has to say here.
So I've got 5 Saracens, upright tackle.
I think we're starting to see a really
She's
exciting
upright, so
kicking
it is
battle
foul
between
play.
the two.
there's
Not only
direct
have you got
head
Zoe
contact, but
Harrison
it's
kicking, but
passive.
you've also got the
No
Sale
mitigation, so I'm
girls,
on yellow
Lauren
for 5
Delaney
black.
looking to try and put the ball into
5,
space.
please.
And what
5.
I'm finding interesting watching from up here is you're
I don't
actually
need you, I'll
seeing
just
Jess
explain.
and Sarah McKenna telling
so
Zoe
it's an
where
upright
the space
tackle.
is. So
It is
McKenna's
foul play,
telling her
so
to
it can
kick
be
far
lower.
far
You made
right, but
direct head
actually Jess is
contact,
also
but it's
calling
not a
for the ball because there's
dominant
open
tackle, so it's a
space
yellow card.
on the left. So all options are on at the minute, and what's really good is that they're actually communicating that and helping Zoe with that decision.
I'm just going to check that with the AR. It's just about here, isn't it, Andy? Is
And
that
you can
right?
hear there the
Yeah, I'll just...
really clear explanation
Back you
actually
go,
from the
please.
referee. So Emma Taylor has received a yellow card. You can see on the screen.
Time on, high tackle,
it's
number
a
5.
high tackle. It's made head contact, but it is passive, so it mitigates it down to a yellow card.
I've got them up, mate.
So
On the
Emma
edge here,
Taylor
on the edge.
off for the next 10 minutes, and Rosie, like you said, Sale need a bit of momentum. They've got that option now, but I think people have been talking an awful lot at the moment about referees in recent weeks, and that's incredibly good, clear refereeing in the middle of the park there as well.
Yeah, it's all about communication. The referees working with their ARs to make sure that the game is in the safest hands, but also making sure they make the right decisions.
And Sale certainly making the right decisions there as Perrin gets herself within 5 metres of the line. And Sale spinning it, looking for the opportunity. Grant tries to get herself out there.
It's just a knock on, isn't it?
Holly Borden's
Knock
grounded
on.
it,
Scrum.
come off her knee, but it's come off of her hand first. Sale needed a slice of luck. They thought they were going to get it,
We'll get through till half time. Just use hand signals.
but not quite. Let's have a look then at the yellow card here for Emma
Time is
Taylor.
off. We've got a front row down.
You can see here it is head contact, but it's also
Andy,
a
can you just
passive
check with Emma
tackle
that she's got
whilst
the time on that
she
yellow
is
card,
upright.
because I know she hasn't got
Yeah, we
comps.
speak about needing to get
That's why
lower.
we're taking time off here.
When you're doing those double tackles, it can be quite hard. If that first person that's making the low chop tackle
To
doesn't
be
get
fair,
low enough,
the
then it
penalty
actually
of that
makes it really
previous
hard
one
for you
was
to
'cause
make
your
that
flanker came off.
higher dominant tackle.
I
So
thought you did what you did to stay in
making
the
sure that
fight,
you're
but
actually
when she came
working
off, I
together
hated
to
it.
make sure your height is low is pivotal to make sure that these things don't happen.
Yeah, just do your best to stay square. And
So Ragoni back up on her feet.
Thank you, mate.
That was a great run from Laura Perrin, though.
Come on.
Being able to break through a few Saracens defenders, finally being put down by Zoe Harrison and Sarah McKenna, and unfortunately didn't get it away on the edge.
And a scrum for Saracens. I suppose it's the good thing about having a player like Georgia Evans in the squad that can play second row, back row. She can just slot straight in and knows exactly what she's doing.
Yeah, and they've decided to put Sarah McKenna in as well, and I think that's probably because they know Sale are a big pack. They've got some strong girls, and this will be their moment now to try and get that scrum pen and get some get the ball back as such. And they've seen that as an opportunity to do it. But Sarah McKenna, she's on the flank. She's under 20s attack coach now, so hopefully she has an inkling as to what she's doing.
Well, she's done pretty well on the side of the scrum there, and there goes Bridger. Tackled well, and Sale fighting for the ball, drawing the penalty. A big win for them, and it's Laura Perrin again, Rosie. She's really grown into the game in the last few minutes.
Yeah, Bridget just accidentally did one too many rolls, and sometimes that's really hard to control when you've just got that momentum bringing you forward. She wants to break that line, so she's going direct and she's going fast and falling to the floor and getting that first initial roll, but unfortunately one too many, and Laura Perrin was there, and that makes it easier for the referee to give that decision.
Referee then looking to speed the game up, and Sale not going for touch but taking it quickly, and Harper hauled down by Packer, but this is better from the Sharks.
Tackle! Onside, please. Take a step.
Jones to Talling.
No!
And Harper again leading this charge for her side.
Advantage of sides.
Another advantage coming.
Penalty advantage.
And there goes Sherman now with the carry, and Jones stops, snipes, goes.
Okay. Yeah, no worries.
Sale looking for that support. It doesn't connect initially, but tied it up by Harper.
Okay, nothing coming. Backline offside. I'm just going to get the mark.
I think Natasha Harper is carrying so well for the Sale team. She's really
line,
getting
please.
that front
Backline,
foot ball,
offside.
and she seems to be popping up every other carry. So I can imagine she's pretty tired out there, but she's doing really well for the Sale team at the minute. It was also interesting that they went for a penalty move rather than go into corner, and I wonder why they didn't take advantage of that maul that they could have been one man, one woman over.
Well, they are going to try and take advantage of that now. Good, clear communication again from our referee in the middle today, and the Sharks growing back into this one now, and they need this line out to connect. Taken well as the first part, and now Sale get the drive on with Swales.
Don't change.
That's surely going over. Yes, it is. Sale back in the game.
Okay.
They went to the driving maul, and let's just stop. There's a bit of afters here. I'm going to see what the referee says.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Please. Have a word with the captain behind the post. I'll speak to her. Captain, I don't expect a repeat of that. I'm going to say the same to them. We just don't need it, okay? Water's all right for now, thanks.
Really good communication again from our referee there, Rosie, and you were saying about Sale going to the line out. It worked perfectly.
Yeah, definitely. They got their connections really tight then. Moena Talling managed to get the ball back. The girls came over, bound round each other, and that's something that's really important, is getting those connections further down. But you can also just see Tunisia at the front, pulling Marley Packer's top off and trying to rile her, and that's exactly what happened there.
You have to say for Sale, they need to generate and create that momentum for themselves. They need to try and get under the skin of this Saracen side, especially with 5 minutes left on that yellow card period still. And that was exactly what they needed to do there.
Yeah.
Great nudge from Sarah Law. And it's 26-7 here at StoneX Stadium, 26 minutes on the clock. And Sale will be really, really pleased with how they've responded here, Rosie. And we can see from the replay, it's just a textbook driving game.
Yeah, and for Sale to get that whilst there is a yellow card, that's a really good point of play and a point of difference. And being able to make the most of a yellow card is something that all teams need to try and do.
Harrison then readying to get back underway again. I don't know if you heard it watching at home, but there's a little bit of singing from the assistant referee there on the ref's mic as well. She's been enjoying herself out in the sun today. First mistake of the afternoon from Harrison. That one goes straight out, and well, Rosie, like we said with Sale after conceding that try, it's compounding errors and giving that opportunity straight back to Sale there.
Yeah, Zoe just took that a little bit too far, and again, Sale will probably be really happy with that. They feel like they've probably done their job from that maul and made a bit of a distraction there. So I think Zoe will just park that. It's just one of those things, and Saris will probably come back now with a bit of fire in their bellies, wanting to get down back into playing in their 22.
Crouch! And that's the thing, isn't it? It's all about, as a player, parking those mistakes. They're going to happen, everybody knows it. It's about how you respond afterwards.
Falls away.
Rigoni then on the ball. And Sale coming again at pace. This is much better from the away side. It's exactly what they want. Big carry over the top of May Campbell there.
I've got that as taken back into the half.
And is that going to bobble into touch? It does.
Everyone agree that's taken back? Okay, yeah, it's taken back in the half.
You can hear that from the referee. They're taken back into the half, so not quite a 50-22. But Sian Jones, Wales international scrum half, starting to play in exactly the right areas of the pitch, and we saw it in the Six Nations Championship as well. She grew into that Wales shirt, and she's growing into this match as well.
Yeah, definitely. She started to put her hand up for that 9 shirt. Kira Bevan's been involved in the system for a long time now, but it's great to see some young talent coming through, and you can see that Sale are really trying to invest into their internationals as well, and that support network to be able to let people to flourish.
Well, there's someone who's been flourishing so far this afternoon. Borden and Tunasi has certainly been flourishing, and well, that was an added flourish with that offload, and Rigoni now gets the ball away, looking for it back. It doesn't quite connect first time round, but Perrin comes again for the Sharks.
Sorry.
Jones to Swales, and Jones again. Sarah Law has a go. Rigoni takes that one behind her and pulled to ground, not held, play on. You can hear our referee saying below us. Harper in to Evans.
No! Varnage.
Another penalty advantage for Sale, and that is stunning from Tunasi. Clifford tidies up. Georgia Evans penalised for offside in the passing lane, as you heard there from our referee.
Have they kicked the ball?
Yeah, that was a cheap penalty from Georgia Evans. One of those ones where you're trying to get off the floor and get back into the line, but she's just gone into the passing channel, and that's something that Saracens don't want in this area of the pitch. Sale are going back into the corner now. They're probably going to use their maul. Can Saracens now come out with a bit of a better line-out defence here?
And Rigoni will put this one into the corner for her side. We saw what happened last time they went to the driving maul.
Time off, Simbin returning.
They will be hoping for more of the same as Emma Taylor makes her way on to the pitch again.
Just keep the ball held until I'm ready, mate.
So it's only cost her side 7 points, but the momentum is certainly with the Sharks at the moment.
Time on.
And Taylor is straight back in to a defensive line out here. And Sale go down. McLaughlin with the ball. Swales in behind her. They look to turn it. Saris defend that well, but the ball is still live here for Harper.
No!
Fed to Talling, metres away. Jones.
Advantage.
Bridger penalised there, not rolling away quickly enough, and you sense another card could be coming, but another score could be coming.
Hands
Harper
away!
has a go.
Thank you. It's advantage for not rolling.
Out to Rigoni. Rigoni fights, but McKenna pushes her back. Talling now.
Advantage, new advantage number 3 offside.
And a new advantage. You feel a card is going to come here if the Sharks do not score.
Okay, you've run into your own player.
Let's listen to the referee again quickly.
2 not rolling offences in that phase. The second one was certainly against number 3. The first one may have been as well. Need an improvement in discipline in this area. Someone will go. Of course you can. Yeah, of course you can. Time's
I think
off
that's
while they have
clever
a
from the
word.
referee. They haven't been given too many penalties away down here, but the girls do need a talking to. And Marley Pack has just said to the referee, can I go and speak to the girls? And they
So
know
you've got
now,
a
they
choice.
don't
There's
need
one
to be
here,
told,
there's
but
one
just
over
having
there.
that
Which
word
one
of
do you want?
discipline said to them is going to be really important. They want to be able to
We're just
come away
checking
from
on the
here
option.
with Sale not scoring any points.
And we've said about
This
good
one,
refereeing,
okay.
as you said there, it's great
3, roll
captaincy
away.
from Marley Packer as well. More than anything, it just allows
go,
her
please,
side
Dan.
to take a moment before this defensive set.
Don't dummy it.
Referee not a fan of the dummy from McLaughlin. Harper to Shermer. Went backwards and Sale going meters away. Campbell. Sale having a look. They think they've managed to get it
The ball
down, but
is
it's held
over the
up
line.
by
It's a
May
goal line
Campbell.
dropout.
Goal line dropout.
It's
A
a
big
goal line.
win
Time
for
off.
Sale. And time
Just
off
gonna
here
deal
with the
with
Sale
as well.
player down.
Let's
And
just give her
there's
some
still a bit of
space, please. It's
needle
gonna be a
going
goal
on
line
there with
dropout when we
Sean
restart.
Jones down. But May Campbell, such a vital intervention from the hooker.
Yeah, and what was good about that is May actually dragged her over the line. She could have easily just stayed there, but bringing the ball with her and being underneath the player meant that she could hold it up.
Agreed.
And it will be a goal line dropout to get us back underway. Sean Jones down, receiving a little bit of treatment down below us. Doesn't seem to be too much concern down on the Sale dugout at the moment in terms of lining up a replacement. So hopefully she'll be all good to continue.
Saracens will want to get out of this area now, so for them it's about playing in the right areas, getting out of the danger zone, and then putting the pressure back
Time on, goal line.
Goal line dropout then, and Harrison readies herself for this one. And for anybody that is fans of the quarters, Harlequins are playing at home today. They are 7-0 up on Leicester Tigers at the moment, while Sale, you heard the call from the referee, 50-22. They've put that one deep into the Sarries 22. It wasn't far enough back, so he called no, but again, Sale kicking to the corners, putting the pressure on May Campbell at line-out time and doing exactly the right thing here so far.
Yeah, really clever play from Lauren Delaney, and unfortunately I think the girls were trying to do a bit of a special move there and it hasn't quite paid off. Marley was coming into the line, seeing the gap
she ran
from
in
May
when the
Campbell,
ball
but
was
as she was
thrown, so I'm okay
tackled,
with that.
just knocked on in the contact.
A wry smile there from Marley Packer, disappointed in herself.
Big scrum now, guys.
Okay.
You can hear the players down below us shouting about the scrum, shouting about what they need
May
to
would
do.
have actually been happy doing an 80-metre run if she did catch that ball.
You say that, she gave it a good go for at least 50 metres in that cup semi-final here against Exeter,
Crouch!
but hope she won't mind me saying she did look like she was blowing a little bit by the end of that run. Sale though with an attacking opportunity again. Sarries get the drive on, Talling has to get that one out, and in the end it's Jones, Law, Perrin to Rigoni. Perrin again, so good so far today, and Talling into Gregson.
Away!
She's been quiet so
Ball's
far this
there, ball
afternoon
is
in
there,
attack,
you put it
Sydney
there.
Gregson, but an important defensive intervention there. McLaughlin. Packer with her hands on it, looking for the turnover.
Show the ball,
gets
play
the
on.
turnover and play on, as you can hear from the referee. It's all a bit of a mess, and Jess Breach tidies it up in the end.
Not now! Onside. Wait.
Viervas, Taylor.
Roll
The
first.
penalty not rolling away, and
Where you go,
Sarries
back you
get
go.
that get out of jail card
No,
that
not now.
they needed, they were hoping for there, but it's all come from that Marley Packer turnover, and it's something she's been doing for years, in a Saracens shirt, in an England shirt,
Yeah,
basically
that's-
anytime she's on the field.
That's what Marley's good at, and today she's there out there as captain. Lotta Clapp away with USA for Pack 4, so Marley's one of those
Line's
people
yours.
that leads from the front by actions. If it's by words, it's usually a few effing and blindings, but she's definitely someone that brings the energy, and a little moment like that is a massive shift for Saracens.
All back.
Line out doesn't work for Saracens again, and here come the Sharks through Swales. Jones to Harper. Popping up at first receiver a lot today, Harper, and she gets that one away nicely. And Jones thought about the kick, but dummies, gets it out of the back. And Gregson looks to effect the turnover.
On the body.
Harper again for the Sharks. But a penalty, a turnover from Casolo, holding on the call. And Saracens will have a second bite of the cherry there. Talked about Sharifa Casolo being that defensive leader in the build-up, and another really important intervention there.
Yeah, another link-up between Sharifa and Marley. Sharifa made that tackle, and then Marley was just able to get that ball and hold on as she rolled away. So great link-up there.
Yeah. Just here, Sal. Time off.
Time off again then with Tanasi down. Referee said a head injury, so just some running checks
water
there.
If they want it. They can have water if they want it.
And allowing water onto the field if the players want it as well. It's really hot out there today.
And I think Sale have been the smarter out of the two, getting themselves into the shade to have this little break in play.
Definitely the smart decision to get out of the sun. Sweltering down there for both teams. And in terms of the momentum swings, as we get ready to get back underway, Sarries have got the scoreboard lead. They've got the 4 tries, but
water off.
Other than that 15-minute spurt,
So let's go
it's been Sale that have been controlling the tempo of this game so far.
Yeah, for sure. Sarries had a really good start. We don't usually notoriously have very, very strong starts, very fast starts. So to be able to score 4 tries in the first 15-20 minutes is really, really promising for Saracens. But it's how we can then maintain it for 40 minutes. Is it the fact that we had 4 scores and we've let loose a little bit? Or is it the fact that Sale have turned up and now they're actually into the game?
Sale is certainly into the game, and Packers fighting for that turnover and getting it back for her side and drawing the penalty.
First defence is holding.
Rosie, we do keep talking about the wind. It's difficult down there. It's swirling for both sides. This line out so far, how much of a concern is this going to be for Mo Bota going into half-time?
Yeah, we're lucky that there is 4 scores on the doors at the minute, but Mo probably won't be very happy with this. I know he won't, and it's just a case of trying to understand what's going wrong.
The line, please.
You can't blame the elements, you have to play the elements, and it then goes down to looking at Fee and what she's doing. Can she make it easier for May if May's struggling? So it's all about working together and getting those cogs working again, and I think they just need to go to base hits, get the ball at the front, like so, build a platform, and then go from there again.
And let's see what happens here. Building that platform, they're crabbing sideways, and now they're looking to go forward. Campbell has her hands on the ball. Saracens haven't been in this part of the field for a long, long time. Viervas hunting for the ball, but still Saracens advance. Still Saracens go with the advantage building. Inches away from the line. The ball is now in the hands of Akina Gondwi, and she is over for try number 5. It's so simple when it needs to be, and it shows the importance of getting that line out right. Akina Gondwi there going over for the try, her second in the league of the season, and Saracens make another indent on that scoreboard.
Yeah, that was a really good maul drive from the girls. It was about being patient, and you saw Tunisi trying to get her hands through, and she was told not to change her bind, but did. And I think if they were to get any closer and they would have brought them all down, then it could have been a penalty try. But Saracens got the ball at the front, created a really good platform, and then just stayed patient, stayed tight, kept going forward and using that soft edge on the corner to get round.
You can just see this replay here. Viervas was fighting for it. The referee was saying to use it, but in the end the forwards kept it tight, saw where the opportunity was, and you can just see there that shift backwards of the ball to Akina Gondwi, and Harrison has dinked that one to perfection off the post and in. So it's 33-7 the score here with a couple of minutes to go, and Saracens just extend their lead slightly. They'll be relieved, I think, to have gone up to that part of the field and scored again. It's been all sail, but they've not taken the most of their chances. Saris, it feels like 5 or 6 times in the 22 and they've come away with 5 tries.
Yeah, and look at the way Sale are walking back up to the line. It's a hot day out there. The girls at Sale play on grass. We're obviously a bit more used to playing on 4G, but I can imagine it is really taking its toll. We've probably got about 1 minute left of this half, and it's the way that the players look. Saracens look ready to go. They want to get back. They want to get back into their 22 and play again.
So much of rugby is about momentum, about the image you portray to the opposition as well. And McKenna then pumps that one up the field, and it will be the Sharks that have a final attacking opportunity of the half. Just under a minute to go until the break, and let's see what happens here. That first part goes well for them, and Jones with the ball to Law. And that goes behind, but
No, not now, not now!
still okay to play on.
Ball's there.
Here's Jones again to Talling.
No!
And there goes the half-time gong. It's the Sharks finishing on the attack here. Jones again. That was Molly Wright with the carry there. Nice from the Sharks, and there goes Jo Brown.
2, thank you. 3.
Harrison then, is she going to want to play this one or put boot to ball? The gong has gone, but both teams still wanting to play at the moment.
Come out the 10, get out the 10!
And Viervas then has seen the space, and Harrison puts the kick through. When it goes dead, that should be half time. Stayed in just, and this is the half of rugby that never wants to end. A knock on from the Sharks, and you can hear the referee there. That is the half-time interval. So slightly strange end to that half, but it's 33-7 to Saracens. Sale started the brighter, raced out of the blocks, but then Saracens were clinical when they needed to be. Jess Breach with 2 tries. Sophie Bridger added another. May Campbell added the bonus point, but Sale then fought back hard. Neve Swale
just a bit more space, guards
going over.
In particular around the breakdown.
And let's just listen to what the referee's saying to Marley Packer at half-time.
Thank you.
Just very quickly there, he was talking a little bit about space at the breakdown. Rosie, it's been an interesting half of rugby. Saris are dominant on the scoreboard, but Sale have been a huge part of this game so far.
Yeah, I think Sale was still probably a little bit on the bus in the first 10-15 minutes. Having that long journey down isn't easy to then come out onto the pitch and play, and Saris managed to get some really good tries out wide in that first 20. So Sale definitely came alive in that second half of the first half, and I think they're all about being physical, but they've also got that little edge to them of wanting to play and showcasing what they can do. The likes of Tatisha Harper, Neve Swales, they've been pivotal in getting front football, and then you've got the likes of Sarah Tanisi in defence that's still doing what she does well in defence, as well as Morwenna Talling.
So let's have a look then at some of the tries. We'll start with the first one from Jess Breach. And it was all about Zoe Harrison checking, going, and then, as we said at the time, the awareness to get that pass away to Jess Breach, and you don't stop Jess Breach from that sort of distance.
No, you definitely don't. Her and Zoe know each other inside out, and they just link up really well. Jess has brought her pace back on that wing. She's coming up in different areas on the pitch, and she's just working really well with both Zoe and her other back three to get some really good successful tries on the pitch.
You can see this angle here, it's the stop and the check, and then that pass away just to create that space.
Yeah, I think it's class from Zoe, to be fair. The vision, she could have either kicked it out because of where they were on the pitch, kicked out the pitch, sorry, but she's actually just decided to back herself. She's got that footwork, she's got the show and go, and then she's obviously just finished Jess off really well in the wing.
And then this one, the crossfield kick from Sarah McKenna was sublime. The initial pass didn't quite work, and Rigoni looked like the chance was on, but then Jess Breach, you don't normally see a winger stood on the edge there making the charge down, but the awareness was fantastic.
Yeah, the weighting of the kick from McKenna just meant that it fell straight into Jess's hands, and Jess probably could have taken the edge potentially. She'll probably tell me that she couldn't, but she saw May on the inside. May normally can hit those lines. Unfortunately, didn't go straight to hand, but Jess just working back and showing the tenacity to get back into defence, to put pressure on again and turn that the pressure that was on Saris back into the pressure on Sale and come away with points.
Saris at this point were cruising, as was Jess Breach there when she skipped over for the try. And they did add another 2 scores of their own. Let's have a look at this one. This was Harrison, the inside ball to Sophie Bridger. And she still looked to pass, but got herself over the line in the end there.
Yeah, she definitely did. Zoe pulled out Neve Jones, who was coming off the scrum, and just opened up a really nice gap for Bridger. Bridger saw the space, and of course she's going to take it.
You can see this other angle here in the end. Diving through, crossing over the line, and delighted with that one was Sophie Bridger. And then this was the try for May Campbell, just spotting the gap, darting through, and yeah, putting it down, turning around, and a little celebration with Ella Viervas. But it all came there from the hands from Akina Gondwe. Did brilliantly to hold on to it, and then Campbell so quick, so alive to the danger.
Yeah, we've spoken about May. Not only is she a hooker, but she's a flanker at heart, and she just wants to play rugby. She likes playing on the edge and getting her hands on ball and scoring at the end of the day.
That was the momentum shift then in the game. Emma Taylor yellow carded for a passive upright tackle making contact with the head, and Sale responded pretty much instantly in the end when they got into the 22. Neve Swales going over from the rolling maul, and they really stuck to task here, and a perfectly executed driving maul with the England under-20 international at the heartbeat of it.
Yeah, Emma Taylor will be disappointed with herself. She's her own harshest critic, but Sale just took the ball by its horns and actually just decided to go for a driving maul and put their all into it. Great throw, great setup, and a few afters as well.
A few afters. We won't talk about those ones. The referee handled it well, dealt with it quickly. That's just really well executed from Sale, but Saracens had the final say of the half with a driving maul of their own, transferring it from May Campbell's hands to Akina Gondwe's at the exact right moment when the referee was asking for the ball to be used.
Yeah, this was a try of patience. They had the setup, they won the ball, they'd had a few unsuccessful lineouts before, so taking that front option isn't always a bad thing, and staying in it.
And eventually there, crashing over from Gondwe. Well, one more angle of this try to show you here from the back just how well executed that try was from Saracens, and then Rosie and I are going to take a little bit of a break, get a bit of water on board. It is hot up here today, and then we're going to show you 2 VTs. The first one is the women's try of the season vote. It's open at the moment. There's 6 spectacular scores to choose from, with the winner announced at the Gloucester Hartpury game on the 25th of May. You can head to saracens.com to vote for that one. And then, well, Rosie might be next to me today, but she's also been in the What's Trending studio with Marley Packer. What's been going up in their lives? What's been going down? There's a fair few laughs in that one, a fair few comedy moments, so enjoy those, and we'll see you again for the second half.
Being held up, just short. McDougall, crossfield kick, simple. Faris, Saracens.
gets up and has to clear well. Doidge was on her there. And it's bouncing about. There's an opportunity here for Jess Breach, and she's picked it up. Jess Breach is going through, and she's got the ball away to Poppy Cleo. And Viervas with the ball now. That's got the crowd going. And Ella Viervas is going. Has Ella Viervas got the legs? Yes, she does. Out of nothing. Into this one. The goodie to Barry's. That's clever, but Kobayashi stops her well. But the goodie gets herself going again. Sophie de Goodie is going. Sophie de Goodie, is she going to get another? Yes, she is. Saracens hit the front again. This match has everything.
Since I've known Marley, I have noticed she's got many skills away from rugby. She can decorate, she can plumb, and she's also designated driver. So I'm in very good hands with Marley Packer as our captain.
We've had an argument today about her painting.
Basically today I was like, oh, I can do the straight line, I can do the skirting bit. She was like, well, it has to be a straight line. I was like, I'll leave it then, I'll leave it to you. No, I would be very lost without your skills, and I'd probably be very skint as well, having to buy people in.
So I'm multi-talented then. Thank you. Decorating, driving, yeah, definitely.
And then rugby related, I'd say your trophy cabinet's grown a little bit since I've met you as well. World Player of the Year, WXV. Yeah, so your trophy cabinet is definitely getting bigger.
Thank you, Rosie. WXV, whirlwind, to go back out to New Zealand and get the win like we did. Super proud of the girls and how they performed out there. But obviously for me, WXV, coming off the back of that, winning World Player of the Year, it was pretty epic.
Really humble. Just doing the dishes as World Player of the Year.
Oh my God, right? Her Instagram close friends story, right? Day 2 of coming back from New Zealand was me laying on this floor painting, being like, just keeping World Player of the Year humble, sending it to my friends.
No, you're very humble and gracious in victories.
I think our line-out skills, they've got so much better. I can remember one of the calls back in the day at Saracens was scratch your sock, and that would mean something. So I'm glad you've come away from that, and
Thank you.
No worries. But no, just the way you have grown, not just as a player on the pitch, but off the pitch as well, is being pretty up there, and I think you've cemented yourself in not just what will be the Saracens shirt, but also in the Red Roses, so yeah.
I think it's just one of those skills that like over time you gradually try and make it your art. You put a lot of work in behind closed doors, but yeah, it's just something that I'm quite good at and naturally can see it, so it's something that I enjoy doing, and anyone that wants to Nors can come and have a chat.
Away from rugby, you're really good at life admin, and it keeps me in check, so yeah, you're good at that.
Okay, thank you. Admin, I think I quite like a bit of structure to stuff. So
and order.
Yeah, so our brains are quite different in that sense of you're a doer and I'm a thinker. So when we come together,
it works.
It works.
But if I need to do things but I don't want to, I'll find another job to do.
For example, this morning.
Go on then.
So wake up, Marley says she's going to do 40-minute bite. All of a sudden I see Marley pottering around in the kitchen, in the bedroom, starts picking up paintbrushes in the other room. I'm like, Marley, you're meant to be doing a bike. Oh no, I need to do this. But finally got you on the bike. And you feel better for it?
I feel better for it. Good. Sometimes you just want to please everyone, and sometimes I feel like you should just please yourself, and you know, if people like that, then they like it. If they don't, they don't. But think of number one first instead of other people.
I'm definitely someone that puts other people ahead of myself sometimes, and I don't think I'll ever change drastically because that's something that I like pride myself on, and I think other people appreciate, but at the same time it's just knowing when I need to put myself first. As your career's getting on, you start to think of other people rather than how good you are, so just making sure that you keep backing yourself and knowing how good you are as a player and as a person. I think probably one of the big things that's stood out for me, this is a positive, is like how much you've come on in public speaking. You won't really ever remember like the positives and the good things you've said. You'll only pick up on your negatives. So it's like having that balance between, okay, I still want to better myself, but actually I'm not doing a bad job.
That's one. And I need to stop, like, you know, like after you've done the speech, like asking people, oh, how did that sound? Just
yeah, it's that reassurance piece, isn't it? Like,
I need to move away from that. Just reassure yourself. Don't need reassurance from others. Yeah. But I think that's from the sport you play, because you're coached, you're told what to do, how to do it. So you're constantly not craving that reassurance, but that, yeah, you did that good, or well done, or that wasn't right, how do we correct that? Yeah. But when you come out of that bubble of the rugby, is that in life things, that actually knowing yourself and not wanting that constant telling whether it's good, bad, or how can you do better, do it yourself. Consistency of life balance between rugby.
Life balance and getting all of the little foundations right so that we're the best versions of ourselves.
On and off the pitch.
Yes.
Agree.
Agree.
Agree. Heard it first. Agree.
Well, unlike the first half where we had a little bit of a delay in terms of the players coming out, Saracens made their way back out so quickly that it caught myself slightly off guard there at the start of the second half. Still waiting for Sale Sharks as they make their way out onto the pitch now. And Rosie, having popped down there at half time, that wind is horrible out on that pitch.
Yeah, it is actually a bit windier than we probably assumed up here, but I think the girls are now playing with the sun in their faces, so it'll be interesting to see what Sale do and whether they make their kicks a bit higher to put Saracens under pressure.
Harrison then has the ball in her hands. And we are back, ready for action. Harrison then gets us underway. And Sale straight back on the attack instantly there through Sherma. Continuing to carry hard, but Campbell gets herself over, nearly gets the turnover.
Turnover's legal!
And Sarries have got that ball back now, and there's Bridger, stops, checks, goes. Harrison sees the space, puts the ball through, and that's just going to dribble into touch. Lauren Delaney watching that one
Okay,
and trusting Neve Swales to get the line out right.
Serious.
That was a really good start from Saracens on their defensive effort. You can tell that they want to get off the line and they want to make those tackles, and I think that was slightly lacking in the first half. There's definitely something that's been said at half-time.
Well, time off again here with Beatrice Rigoni down, receiving a bit more treatment. She's been outstanding today with ball in hand, but she's been in the wars a little bit as well. Good to see her back up on her feet though for the moment, but yeah, she's been everywhere. Defence, attack, in the maul, at the breakdown, in the open play. I wouldn't be surprised if she tries to pat down in that scrum at some point as well, the way she's been going so far today, Rigoni.
Now with that shoulder stinger, I don't think she'll be wanting to go in a scrum, but her and Laura Perrin, they've just really made a really good connection in the centre today, both in attack and defence. I think they're starting to pose questions. They're getting off the line in defence, but also in attack, playing off each other's shoulders, putting those little passes in, and just trying to look up and scan a bit more, I think.
Time is still off for now.
There's Georgia Evans on your screen there. Sale Sharks line out. Let's see what happens here. That one snaffled by McIntosh. Clifford decides she wants to go herself, and there's Viervas. Campbell.
Ball's out, play on, backwards.
Gone backwards, play on, says the referee, and Casolo tidies that one up. Evans with the carry. Inside to Marley Packer, it doesn't quite work, and another knock on.
Knock on black, knock on blue.
And a scrum for Sale Sharks. You can see what Sarries are trying to do. Perhaps it's that first game back together sort of thing, just not quite on the same wavelength at the moment there.
Yeah, I think Marley's wanting to play there and offer a little inside line, and just unfortunately it doesn't go to hand. But I think it's good that they're still trying to play something different. It doesn't always have to be the one-out pod carrying system that most teams use, but actually just offering something different from both backs and forwards.
Heard the referee there just saying time off for an asthma pump for the Sale Sharks player that's down. I'll tell you what, in that heat today, I'm not surprised that she needs the inhaler.
Okay.
Running repairs, good to go again.
Time on, scrum.
There'll be a scrum for the Sharks to get us back underway here.
22, let's go then. Let's get it, mate. I've got your inside, G. I've got your inside, Shaz. Yeah, let's go then. Let's go, Sammy, straight forward.
You can hear Marley Packer there.
Crouch!
Leading a side forward, demanding a big hit from the 7 players in front of her. And Viervas pointing to watch the space.
Stay high!
Good scrum from Sale because they're under pressure here. And Sian Jones gets it out, and there is a bit of space for boot to ball.
Always in.
No, good touch finder in the end, under a bit of pressure. That scrum going backwards, and that's not a bad outcome at all for Sale.
No, not a bad outcome. Sale will be happy with that. They've taken the pressure off. They put the pressure back on Saracens' line-out, which hasn't been fully functioning today. So it'll be interesting to see what they're going to do this second half. Are they going to keep it easy, keep the simple option, get front football?
And let's see what happens here then. First of all, the line-out's got to work, and it went to hand, but it wasn't straight.
Option, scrum or line out.
Sale with the option.
Line out option.
And they've opted for the line out. Theirs has been working well so far today. They've got some good forward ball off of that. And considering the pressure that they have been under at scrum time, not the worst decision in the end there.
Yeah, I think you've just got back your set piece, and like there, they've just gone for a simple ball in the middle, won it through speed of lift and jump, and now they're getting it to the edge.
And Rigoni to Borden.
Advantage!
The penalty advantage coming as well.
Direct me to the mark. Thank you. Back over here, please.
Referee just going back to the mark.
Here. To push off the ball, 9.
And a push from Ella Viervas off the ball gives Sale an opportunity to take themselves into that Saracens half. And Sarries might be 26 points up on the scoreboard, but a couple of scores changes the thought process, the outcome about this one. But building into these last 4 games of the season, discipline is going to be so important in the hunt for that home semi-final.
Yeah, discipline and set piece. I think we're doing really well in that scrum platform, but right now our line out isn't functioning, and there'll be some frustrated people out there. That's something that we normally see as one of our super strengths. So yeah, I think there's probably a few frazzled heads right now.
Good from Perrin to Tunasi, and she's burst free, and May Campbell looking for the tackle in the end. She bounces off McKenna and still goes. Looks to get the ball away. And Sale through Law now. Jones, McLaughlin it looks like with her hands on the ball. Jones again. Molly Wright with the surge forwards. Harper now as well, still going Tish Harper.
Ball's there.
Talling now the next to have a go. They're 5 metres out, Sale. Still they come through the forwards through Joe Brown. Jones, Borden taking it on that shoulder, driving for the line.
Onside.
Jones again with the tip on. Harper, superb. Tunasi. Sale bringing out an all-court game here in hunt of that try. Rigoni flings it wide, it's flat, it's just got to be picked up by Prothero. She still goes, she's hauled down, she goes again. But she's held up. Sale Sharks held up for the second time in the match, and as much as you credit Emma Taylor,
I just wonder if there's a potential head injury, so we're going to just check on her.
that from Sale was just
check on the injuries.
sublime. Attack from start to finish, building the phases, and so unlucky not to finish that one off, Rosie.
Yeah, I think that's a missed tackle from Marley Packer on Tunisi. Great little run from her. She also bumps off McKenna, and she's just giving them that front foot ball. And then you see the forwards come alive. When you're 5 metres out, you know what you want to do. You want to be carrying hard, but they also start playing this offloading game, keeping the ball alive.
You can see it here from that end-on angle. Just a bit of treatment going on for a Sale player there, and it will be a goal line dropout when we get underway. But if that pass had stuck, they were in. Prothero did so well to keep the momentum going forward, slip out of the tackle from Harrison. And in the end, it was, well, a combination of Taylor, Viervas, Campbell that stopped them. We're back underway. And here comes Borden again. Sale through Brown. Clifford looking to affect the turnover. What's working well for Sale here is that leg drive after contact. You can see it again from Talling. Harper again, she's had a big match today. The tight head prop.
Ball's there. Onside, take a step.
Jones, McLaughlin, Talling. Big summer signing, Mo Talling. This is just her 5th league appearance, and Tunasi was another. She looks for the line. Hauled down just short, and Sale. Right there again, right. Spins it, bounces it, Harper juggles it, goes. Looks to get the offload away to Rigoni. Now there's an opportunity. Beatrice Rigoni goes herself. Short.
Away. Ball's there. Onside on the line.
Jones to Harper. She deserves a try. She gets the try. It's Sale that make the statement at the start of the second half. Harper, delighted with herself, deserves that try for her performance so far this afternoon.
Yeah, massively. She's been so key in the attack for Sale today. Her carry, she gets a really good dip with her head, so it makes it really hard to tackle her. But she's just constantly there at the minute. She's pretty much every other ball she's getting involved in, and yeah, she's just been a real good player for Sale today.
Superb play there from Sale. And a couple of changes being readied by Saracens down below us as well, you can hear there. We'll go through all of those for you in a second. Sarah Law lining up the conversion as well.
Sorry, it does. It just shows how momentum really can swing. You get one line break, and all of a sudden, Sale have got that real urge to go and score. And pretty much every time they've been down in this in Saracens 22, they have come away with something, whether it's a penalty to then go again or getting a try. So I think Sale are actually playing a really good game when they do get down into the right zones.
And the conversion is good, so it's 33-14 on the day. Lovely strike from Sarah Law. And we'll update you on those Saracens changes. It's Jess Breach and Marley Packer making their way off the field. And Grace Moore has come on for Packer. And Isla Alejandro come on for Jess Breach. Harrison gets us back underway. Jones puts boot to ball. Great nudge again from the scrum half, and Sarah McKenna, by the sounds of things, has taken over the captaincy on the pitch now, and that experience for Saracens is going to be crucial in this last half hour.
Here's the mark.
Yeah, McKenna's a voice that you want to listen to. She knows what she's talking about. She stays calm, collected, probably a bit of a different way of leading than Marley Packer, but she's got so much experience behind her that the girls really buy into what she's saying.
Moore, first touch since coming on to the field. Played for Ireland in the Six Nations and then was part of that Allianz Cup winning side. Harrison then goes aerial and tests Delaney, but she is passing that one with flying colours and flying through with the offload to Rigoni. Sale Sharks coming alive in the sun, and Borden now breaks free but loses the ball into touch.
Cross forwards into touch. Scrum or line out option. Knock on into touch.
It's about 90% there for Sale. That last pass sticks. They're going to be causing so much chaos this afternoon and for the rest of this season.
That's fine. Who's coming off, please?
But they're asking questions of Saracens.
Yeah, it all started with Lauren Delaney taking the space, but also just breaking through those those tackles. They shouldn't be tackles that are broken through that easily, but it's given them 40 metres up the pitch, and that's something that Saracens need to get control of now in order to stay in control of this game and keep points ahead.
Further two changes for Saracens as well. May Campbell, Kelsey Clifford, their day is done. It's Bryony Field and Donna Rose making their way on to the pitch.
It's a hot day out there. I think both teams will be using their benches because you want to optimise performance, and keeping someone on for 60-70 minutes in this weather probably wouldn't be the same as bringing on an impact sub a bit earlier on than usually expected.
Set!
And with Donna Rose, you're not losing anything at all really in terms of that scrummaging ability. That one was a bit of a mess though, and the referee just having a few words with the subs that have just come onto the pitch here. See what he's got to say.
On that side, touch up square, please. Just work together to make sure we both take the bind on this side. Okay, let's go again.
Clear communication again from the man in the middle today.
Balance and patience.
A new hooker and a new tight head prop on for Saracens alongside Akina Gondwy, and Grace Moore in at 8.
Crouch!
There was a game here last season around a similar time of year against Bristol, which was an absolute thriller. It was 48-38 it finished. Grace Moore played with 5 on her back that day, but accelerated like a 7s player, and well, she's got a penalty there. I thought she was going to do it again for a second, and she has. Grace Moore bursts free and draws the penalty advantage. Clever from the Ireland international. And I think they'll just want that penalty there, and they do get it.
Wait, I need to get to the mark. Where is it, please? Here.
Clear from the referee again, and
okay, back you go, please.
Grace Moore, she's such a powerful player in contact, Rosie. One of those players. Sale have been breaking the first tackle a lot this afternoon. She's someone that does it a lot for Saracens.
Yeah, she definitely does. She's just got that bit of beast in her that she wants to break gain lines. She gets her legs pumping. It's all about that high knee drive. There's a few players in the Prem that have that high knee drive that makes it really hard for them to tackle, and she is definitely one of them.
Time off. Hang on, we've got subs. Number 10 and number 11, please.
So some subs being lined up for Sale Sharks as well. Sarah Law, Holly Borden, their days are done. And Vicky Irwin makes her way on.
All good?
And you would imagine Nikita Prothero is the other player to come on.
No.
Vicky Irwin, the top point scorer in the league for Sale Sharks this season. Normally their kicker. Sarah Law, more than able deputy today. A couple of superb strikes at the uprights. Saracens, McIntosh, it doesn't quite work again. And Sharks come away with it through McLaughlin and Talling.
Scrum advantage over.
Jones to Irwin, to Nassi. Trying to free the hands. Moore brings her down eventually. Vagoni, quick hands. And there goes Nikita. That's Holly Thorpe, sorry, I should say, is eventually forced into touch.
Line-out's formed now.
But Sale are making a bit of a mess of that Saracens line-out, and they won't mind this opportunity to try and get that turnover again too much, I suspect.
And we got one look at it. On the edge, please. Yep.
Sale Sharks players down receiving a bit of treatment again. Rosie, we picked out Sarah Tunasi in the build-up in terms of that defensive ability. We talked about her a bit in the first half in terms of that attacking ability, but she's been everywhere. She's almost been playing like that first receiver.
Yeah, and she's out of the line-out today, which just gives her that licence to run. Again, pretty similar to Grace Moore, lifts her knees up high, drives and doesn't give up. And I think that's something that's really important. If you've got weak shoulders in the defence, if you can just keep your legs pumping, you might actually get through that line. And then just having the support players. Sarah Law did it really well. She was on the shoulders. Laura Perrin, she's playing on the shoulders as well. So Rigoni always bringing something creative to the table. So their back line, along with Tennessee, in that first receiver spot at the minute, it's actually working really well.
Saracens will be much happier with that line out. Route one to Fee McIntosh. And they're looking to get the maul going.
Let go.
Wants the call already. Virvas asking if Harrison wants the ball.
Still moving forwards.
Still going forwards at the moment. You can hear our referee. Virvas has got to get that ball out quickly here.
Now, please. Ball's out.
And she does. Harrison with the chip. Bouncing, causing chaos, knocked on. A win for Saracens, and you have to say probably the first mistake that Lauren Delaney has made all day today. She's been a rock under that high ball up to that point.
Yeah, that was a great spot from Zoe. I think she probably wanted it 1 or 2 metres shorter just to fall into that gap, but it still put Sarah under pressure, and Bridger with the good chase as well just meant that she was in her eye line as she was trying to catch that ball.
Let's go.
Referee just trying to speed the teams up a little bit. Attacking opportunity for Saracens.
What's the issue?
We're 15 minutes or so into the start of this second half, and
I'll set the mark again, just make sure we both go
a bit like large parts of that first half, it's been Sale Sharks that have been the dominant side in terms of that territory, in terms of that possession.
Crouch!
But Saracens with a chance to attack here.
Bind!
And they split themselves. Harrison to the left.
Stay
McKenna
high!
and
Stay
Grant
high!
to the right. That scrum goes forwards, but it's been used quickly, and Harrison fizzes it to Gregson, and it doesn't quite work. It's hacked into touch in the end.
Sarah's line's yours.
Saracens trying out a few things, not quite working out, but you can see what the intention is there with that quick pass and that flat to the line play from Harrison.
Yeah, it just didn't go to hand. A bit of a wasted opportunity for Saris, but I think there's been a few of them today, and it's one of these games that we are ahead now. But in bigger games in a few weeks' time, this can't be happening. So Saracens are really going to have to put their heads together. Let's try and finish on a high for the last 20 minutes.
2 changes then for Sale Sharks. Anne Young and Nick James making their way onto the field for Molly Wright and Datisha Harper. I think you have to say Harper might not be getting a round of applause from the Saracens crowd, but she'll certainly get one from that Sale Sharks bench below her. She has put in a shift today for her side.
For sure, I think she's been up there as one of the best ball carriers on the pitch today.
So Sarries have turned the ball over at the line out. The hands haven't quite worked, but Casolo to Bridger, and she goes wide to Grant. This is better from Saracens. They just need to build the phases, build that cohesion, and more again with the carry. Harrison, Gondwy.
Never held.
Still going, Akina Gondwy. Described in the week as a pocket rocket of a loose head. But Donna Rose isn't quite on the same wavelength. And then Delaney isn't quite on the same wavelength as Niamh Swales, so it will be a Sale Sharks scrum. Again, can see the intent from Saracens. You can see McIntosh getting up in the air early, getting her hands to the ball.
Yeah, and it's like the likes of Donna Rose, she's come on, she's a really powerful impact sub, and Zoe would have been wanting to use her to her advantage. She's got the little tip line. I just don't think Donna was fully switched on to what Zoe was probably thinking. She was probably thinking she was going to go behind and play a bit wider, but I think that's the importance. You have to take these opportunities. All week we speak about taking the opportunities in the right zones, and that is probably one of them.
So let's see what happens here then. The scrum, well, it's been challenging, let's say, for the Sharks. It's been something that they've been under the pump in, but they've been doing well to get the ball out. That's probably the most secure scrum of the day as Talling goes to Jones and to Perrin.
Onside.
Still driving through Perrin and Rigoni now with the ball.
Holding front!
Sale then pumping that one up the field, and it bounces all the way over the head of Sarah McKenna, and she's got to go tracking all the way back. Scoops it up one-handed, assesses her options, moves to her left, Sarah McKenna. Eventually pulled to ground.
Back! No left.
Viervas to field.
Onside.
Viervas then lining up the kick here. Saracens happy, content to play the territory game as Viervas puts boot to ball. It's staying in for Rigoni. She passes it wide. Sale still going through Holly Thorpe. Jones, McLaughlin now into Casolo, rides the tackle well and then picked up by Joe Brown, and Joe Brown has seen the space, gets the pass away, and Sian Jones has got a foot race that she's going to win. Sale have a third. They're right back into contention here, and Zoe Harrison, concerned for Saracens, down on the ground. But Sale Sharks alert to the danger with two subs coming on for the hosts. And Rosie, 20 minutes into this half, it has been all Sale, and you can't say they don't deserve that third score. That was really well taken.
Yeah, really good. I think just before that, McKenna played really well in terms of catching that ball and actually getting it between the 5 and 15 to put Ella Viervas in a great platform to kick the ball. I think the issue came from that chase from the kick and not actually getting the first up tackles again. And that's where we've seen a few of Sale's momentum shifters today. It's come from our mistakes and not getting those tackles and getting front foot ball. And Joe Brown here, a player that's been involved in the England setup before, she's got that vision to go like May Campbell did earlier, and
that's fine.
She's made an opportunity there for her team and come away with points.
A conversion to come. If Rigoni gets this, who's taken over the kicking, it cuts it to a 12-point game.
Time is back on.
I beg your pardon, Rigoni is going to be holding the ball for Vicky Irwin to have a shot at this one. Look, that almost there looked like a bit of a free kick in a football match. Two players standing over it, not even people questioning who was going to take it, but it is Vicky Irwin. Lines it up, slots it through, and Sale have come to play in the second half. It's 33-21, and Saracens have made those two changes. It's Ella Viervas and Fee McIntosh coming off, Leanne Infante, Louise McMillan coming on. It feels like the hosts need a bit of a spark here, Rosie. It's been a subdued second half, I think it's fair to say.
I think you'll get that with Leanne. Leanne, another experienced player, a very well-seasoned 9, and I think she'll just bring the energy that the girls need. She'll bring that. She'll just bring a bit of dog about her, Leanne.
A bit of dog. Well, held there on the floor was Nikita Prothero, and that's given Saris an opportunity straight away. But Sale are starting to find opportunities when they break free.
On the 5, please.
And you just heard Leanne then taking control. She was like, we're going for a line out. I think that's probably what the girls need. They just need someone to come on. She's been watching the game from the sideline. She knows what's probably missing, and she'll want to bring that and bring the energy with her.
Well, she's made a few crucial interventions this season for her side, Leanne Infante. The Exeter game back here in January when it was in the balance, picking off an intercept, going 80 metres. Let's see what happens here from this line at home. Millen takes that well. Field hunting for the ball at the back. And a penalty advantage coming Saracens' way.
Advantage, Saris.
Going forward, driving forward, but Infante probably going to want to use this one. She's hunting for it. She digs it out. And Infante goes herself, gets it free to Harrison, who's recovered from that knock. And Infante again. Emma Taylor rides the first tackle.
Still advantage.
Infante, Rigoni up quickly on Macmillan.
No.
And Infante again looking for the opportunity. There's Gondwy.
Slow ball.
Nothing coming, and we'll come back for that penalty then, but you can see that injection of pace from Infante that you were just talking about, Rosie.
Yeah, definitely. She wants to play. She wants to tap and go that ball, but at the same time she's wanting to control the game. We are still 33-21. We're still in front, so it's about managing it now. We just got a penalty for Atamall, so we're going back to it and a bit closer this time.
Sailor on the edge. Saris, you can give off, please.
So 10 metres or so out from the line for Saracens. The last line out went to plan. Will this one as well? Taken by Evans, and now Saracens look to set that maul. Heave the call from the crowd. But Sale disrupting it well. You can see where the ball is in Grace Moore's hands, and Infante knows she has to use that quickly. There's Harrison. Inside ball. Sophie Bridger off to Corinne Grant. Corinne Grant goes. Is inches away.
Onside.
Moore to Taylor.
Short away. Hands
Better
off.
from Saracens, and Evans looks to get her mitts to it, but it's Infante. Sees the line. Goes for the line.
Away. Away.
Not quite, but it comes back again now.
Leave it. 13.
Donna Rose. Saracens need a try just to calm the nerves. Is this that moment? Evans next to have a crack. Oh, Sale defending for their lives, and it's Gondwy readying herself. Going, but she's just short. Still with that penalty advantage, with acres of space out wide as well, but the forwards happy to keep it close. Rose the next to have a go, and she dots it down. Saracens have a sixth. Donna Rose has a first of the season in the league, and Saracens needed that score, Rosie, just to calm those nerves and allay those fears and take themselves 3 scores ahead.
That's somewhere before that we haven't always got points. Sometimes we've been held up, and that's probably been somewhere where we haven't fully taken our opportunities before. So the patience of the girls there, no one had white line fever. There was probably 6 or 7 attempts there, and Donna Rose dots over. She'll be really happy with that one.
She will indeed, and you can see here the awareness, as you said, just the composure, waiting for the right moment, and eventually it was Donna Rose that saw the gap, and the referee right on the spot to see the grounding. Harrison then slots the extra 2. It's 40-21. The lead is back up to 19 points with a quarter of an hour to go. Saracens will be much happier with that, taking advantage of the opportunity that Sale gifted them from that penalty, and back up over 40 points again.
Looked it to me. Thank you.
It's an embarrassment of riches, really, isn't it, for Alex Austry? The fact that he's got a choice of Kelsey Clifford, Donna Rose each week on that tight head side, and then you still got so many players below that, the likes of Chloe Flanagan that can play both sides of the scrum coming up through the ranks as well. It bodes really well for the future at Saracens, especially in that front row.
Inside.
And Saris in the end just put boot to ball.
Line's yours, Saris.
McKenna being sensible with it.
Please.
And if you are wanting to keep up to date with what's happening with the men's team in Bristol, a crucial game at Ashton Gate, they have fought back from a 13-3 deficit. They're 23-13 up at the moment.
Saracens come away with that ball from the line out here in the women's game in North London, and Infante to Evans, juggles it, but she manages to hold on. And there's Harrison.
Advantage, no arms, 12.
Advantage, penalty, and we heard it there, a no arms tackle on Harrison. She's taken a fair bit of a whack there, Zoe Harrison. I think that might be her final act as well. Amelia McDougall waiting down below us.
Time off.
And time off for Harrison there to take a minute.
Yeah, it looks like Amelia will probably make a straight swap for Zoe, but Zoe's been pivotal to the Saracens' attack today. She's put people into space, she's moved herself, she's been able to use pretty much all of her skills, her distribution, her kick-in, but also just backing herself and going.
You want the scrum, sorry. Scrum option.
Scrum option called from the scrum from Saracens then. They've
okay, yeah.
potentially got something up their sleeves here, calling a scrum right on halfway.
Number 1 and number 12, please.
And they're going to make the
number
changes.
12,
well, it's Zoe Harrison staying on. Akina Gondwy is being replaced by Carmen Tremling. And it's Sophie Bridget for Amelia McDougall. She played a fair amount of 12 for the Saracens Women's Centre of Excellence team, and a chance now to show what she can do outside of Zoe Harrison. An interesting move there from the Saracens coaching staff, but an exciting one, Rosie.
Yeah, really exciting. Amelia's probably learnt a lot from Zoe, and likewise Zoe's probably learnt a lot from Amelia as well in terms of how to work with another playmaker on the pitch. I think Amelia's come out of her shell so much in the past season, and being able to play alongside Zoe and the calibre of player that she is will only bring lots of boost her confidence and her skill set as well.
Let's see what happens here from this scrum then. They've split themselves, Saracens, 4 to the left, 2 to the right.
Okay, start square, stay square, higher please, let's go.
You can hear the referee there just saying he wants both teams to be a little bit higher. What have Saracens got lined up here then?
Crouch! Bind! Set! High, high! Advantage!
Penalty advantage coming from the scrum, and Moore goes to Infante, to McKenna. And with the advantage, she looks to draw Ragoni, goes round her, gets the ball inside, and it's passed back to Moore. Tidies up that one well, the back row.
That's
no advantage coming.
We'll
come back for the penalty. Saracens using that scrum to their advantage. The line-out hasn't quite been working, but that scrum has been a real weapon for them so far this afternoon.
Loose head has gone to knee under pressure. Time off.
Time off called again by the officials with another Sale player down receiving treatment. It's Alicia Washington down on the floor for her side.
I'll just give you mine. Got a drink for me.
The referee just getting a little bit of water on. Both teams doing the same whilst Washington receives a bit of attention. Rosie, whilst we've got a few minutes here until the game gets back underway, great game here today, as we've said, but that Gloucester-Hartpury game, the last home game of the regular season on the 25th of May, huge opportunity for the team, a huge occasion for the crowd, and well, potentially a match that could decide a home semi-final. It's going to be a great game.
Yeah, for sure. It's pretty much going to be the battle of the best. We've got ex-reigning champions versus reigning champions, and you can't get much better than that. If the weather's anything like this, and hopefully it will be, hopefully the sun's staying now, then it's going to be a fantastic day out in itself. And I think it's just going to be one of those games that's really important for women's rugby, to see what we can do and the product that we're putting on the pitch.
I'll continue.
Well, time off still here with treatment for Washington. Like you said, a great day for women's rugby, we will hope. It's been growing and growing across the board, but especially here in North London this season. Over 3,000 in for that game against Harlequins, 1,600 in for the Bristol game. An average attendance in that similar 1,500-1,600 number this season. And as you said to me pre-show,
to be it, you have to see it, and that visibility going into 2025 is so important.
Yeah, massively, and I think that's the thing is if we can get people coming down to women's rugby now, imagine what 2025 could be like. We don't want people to just start turning up in 2025 for the World Cup. We want people to come support us now and be part of our journeys. That's what it's all about. We're all on our own personal journeys, but we're also on our on journeys with our nations, and to be able to say that we've got however many people in different nations at Saracens is pretty special.
Plenty of nations, and there's a potential big moment coming up after this scrum. Number 16 for Sale Sharks, Amelia Hindman, waiting down below us to come on for an Allianz PWR debut. It won't be until after this scrum. It'll be a big moment for her, and Sale, as Rachel Taylor was saying in the warm-up to this game, use that cut block to blood some local youngsters and get them exposed to this standard of rugby.
Set! Square!
Just over 10 minutes to go in this one then, and Infante feeds it in, and Saracens want that scrum again. Use it, the call, and Infante goes to the left. McDougall at first receiver to Gregson, and Gregson cuts the line, but Perrin gets a hand to her, and Harrison then with the kick through for Alejandro to chase, but the touchline wins that one. Sarri's in the right area of the field and playing the territory game, which is probably the right call at this point.
Yeah, definitely. Zoe just knows how to manage games. She's a world-class player and really experienced now, and she knows that we need to play in the right areas of the pitch. She's put us down there, she's put the pressure back onto Sale. It's definitely picked up in wind as well, and being able to now be in a line out where you've got some world-class jumping options there as well. You've got Lou McMillan, who can really lead a line out well for Scotland. Yeah, I think Zoe's done the right thing for the team then and put Sale under pressure.
Like you said, both teams have been able to make an impact at line-out time today, but that's clean from the Sharks. And there's Irwin to Perrin, Casolo with the tackle. Mari Grieve on at scrum half now as well, and Iona Antwis, both teams flooding their benches onto the pitch as Holly Thorpe breaks free. Slight suggestion of a high tackle there, but play on the call from the referee, and Georgia Evans nearly manages to make the turnover. Not quite. Counter ruck is clean.
No, Leanne.
The Sailor having to work hard here. Washington gets it out to Rigoni. It's gone backwards, and she's juggled and tidied up well and not held. Good awareness from the centre. And Brown again, she did that at the start of the second half, and here goes Myri Grieve. Sale one more try and they will at least take a bonus point back with them up north. They've got a penalty advantage here as well. So Rigoni just puts boot to ball, dinks in behind. McKenna tidies up, and back into that familiar sort of pattern of play we saw in the opening 20 minutes of this half, with Sarries just straying offside and Sale, Rigoni the architect, creating those opportunities.
Yeah, I think that was Leanne actually trying to be quite smart, slow the breakdown down, but she unfortunately didn't get away with it. I think she's just trying to take away that momentum that they are getting at the minute. But yeah, you're definitely seeing ebbs and flows in this game, and Saracens really need to stick in it for this last 8 minutes.
Good nudge from Rigoni.
Sarries.
Sale then know what they are hunting, a fourth try and a bonus point. There's been some high scoring games between these sides in the past, but that line out sails over the top and field to Tremeling, who's now made her way on to the field. Infante to Taylor, Harrison, Moore, and now there's a chance. McDougall spins it to Gregson, Gregson to McKenna. This is free flowing from Saracens up towards that 22 now.
Advantage over!
Advantage is over. Harrison to Casolo, knocked on under pressure.
Just a knock-on advantage.
And now it's Sale that look to take it wide themselves. Brown, she's been good today. Thorpe has had opportunities, and she's got one now. Holly Thorpe inside to Myri Grieve, and it's bouncing all over. It's an absolute mess for both teams, but the Sharks have come back with possession. There's another Sale player down receiving treatment in the backfield, so they're down to 14 at the moment. James and Young offering themselves, but the ball is lost forward. And a penalty for Saracens.
You knocked it on, then you've played it back on the ground, 23.
You can hear it clearly there from the referee penalising Nikita
She's out
Prothero.
of the way, so we're going to carry on.
And again, you can hear from the referee, not in the way, so we'll carry on. And
She's out of
Harrison
the way, we'll carry on
put this one into touch. Harrison puts that one into touch, and now we'll have time off with the player in the middle of the park, and that substitution will be made with Amelia Heinemann coming on. Rosie, we've got just over 5 minutes or so to go into the final whistle, so I'll give you a couple of minutes warning for your player of the match. Disappointment there for Sale Sharks as well, with that player being helped off the field as well. Neve Swales, and we hope she is okay. Good to see her leaving the pitch of her own volition. And Elizabeth Shermer is down as well.
How many is it just when we get going? 6, thank you.
6 in the lineup then, Donna Rose says.
Okay, time on.
And we are back underway here in North London with the line out.
Stay on the line.
Doesn't work, goes backwards, but Sale capitalise. And now there is space. Antwis with the carry. Sarries now have to be on their defensive mettle, bouncing about, but Perrin gets it away to Rigoni, and Rigoni gets it away to Delaney, and Sale bursting free now and back towards Thorpe, but again it's that final pass letting them down at the last. Sale 3 or 4 times this afternoon have been a pass away from capitalising. This game could be so much closer. And Rosie, just looking at that interplay there, Rigoni the architect, but Delaney coming into the line. Players putting their hands up for the Sharks going forward is just what you want to see as Saracens set this maul.
Yeah, definitely. I think Delaney's played really well today. She's offered something different in the Sale attack and coming to the line at different points. And I think she's got them really good front football, but it is just those little errors, those little final pieces that means that they aren't getting the points that they probably deserve.
Penalty advantage.
And moments like that as well, the penalty advantage for a side entry at the maul. Rachel Taylor will be looking at those, perhaps thinking, what if? Saracens will come back for that penalty then.
I don't have the number, but it's a side entry and lifting legs.
Hear it clearly again then from our referee, a side entry and lifting of the legs. Rosie, Boss is a bit of a stoppage before Zoe Harrison puts this one into touch. I think it's probably an ideal moment. Who's been in the mix for you for player of the match, and then who are you giving the player of the match to?
Yeah, there's been a few people that have put their hands up for player of the match. In terms of for Sale, Natasha Harper, I think she's been phenomenal for Sale today. Massive carries, massive hits, getting the game line that Sale needed, and also getting a try. So she was definitely up there. Marley Packer, another fantastic performance. Great to see her back. 3 turnovers, some huge carries, playing off people's shoulders, and leading from the front like she always does. She had a fantastic game. But for me, do you want it now?
Yeah, let's hear it now.
It has to be Zoe Harrison, the talisman at 10. She's had a fantastic game. Not only has she had that kick variety, she's scored over the post. She's been able to use her own vision to put herself into space. She's put other people into space, and she has been key for Saracens today.
And you can see it there from Harrison linking the play up as it bobbles out towards Corinne Grant, and Grant powers forward. Infante to McKenna. Saracens wanting to finish with another score here. 3 minutes or so to go on the clock. And Zoe Harrison then is your player of the match this afternoon. There goes Tremeling. And Infante inside to Sydney Gregson. They've been stressing in that all afternoon, and Gregson pins her ears back, fights for her life and gets it down. Saracens have the 7th. Sydney Gregson returns with a try. And in terms of that little inside ball off 9, it's third time lucky, and we've seen how well it can work for Saracens there.
And that is what they like to do on the training pitch. That is finally paid off, and you can see how well it does work.
We'll see a replay in a second, Rosie. Just talk us through this, because Gregson, the line is brilliant, but the power at the end to get over there under pressure.
Yeah, that's something that Sydney's really good at. Her strength to carry on running, that leg drive and not stopping.
On me. Okay. Yeah, no, it's fine.
And here it is, Leanne pulling out the defenders, giving a little dummy, going left, and then Sydney giving a nice little line on the inside. She does a little shift kick, takes out the 15, and then finally gets that roll to score the try.
Just over a minute to go in this game, then it's 47-21 to Saracens. 7 tries here in the sun. They'll be happy enough with the performance. And is there time for one last attack for either side? Saracens will want to go over 50. The visitors will be wanting a 4th try for the bonus point. And there is your player of the match in shot, Zoe Harrison, as the game gets back underway.
Onside.
With a big carry there from field. And Casolo juggles. There's Harrison again out the back. McKenna sees the space, but she checks herself, goes back in. And Harrison has seen the space again. That's for McDougall to chase. And a knock on the floor, and it's picked up by Gregson. Infante puts boot to ball, kicks away that advantage, and Sale will have one last attack of their own. Heindelman gets that ball away.
No, not now.
And Sale still looking to finish with a flourish here. Big tackle coming in from Donna Rose. They check inside. That gong in North London is preparing to go at any second. Sale don't want it to. They want a final 4th try. And you'd have to say their performance this afternoon would deserve that final 4th try as well.
Ball's exposed there, she's onside, ball exposed.
Onside the call though, and Sale under all sorts of pressure. Infante again,
Onside.
And Rigoni goes back for her side. Grieve, Macmillan and Field getting themselves in amongst it. And that ball to Mo Talling. She's been good this afternoon, Mo Talling. Quiet, potentially, but watching the game back, so impressive in terms of what she's been doing around the park. Sale looking to go from deep here. But it's intercepted, taken off, and it's Georgia Evans. She's going to bring up 50. She's going to round off the afternoon for her side. And Saracens are the ones that have the final say here with an 8th score. And Rosie, I suppose that is always the risk when you're trying to play out from deep.
Yeah, massively. But I think Sale, last couple of minutes of the game, they wanted to play, they wanted to try and finish on top, and really good from G just to get in front of that ball and get the turnover.
Taking a seat there, Georgia Evans, back up on her feet now with Grace Moore with her.
It is, yes.
Harrison lining up the kick. This will be the final act of the game.
It's all right, these things happen.
Rosie, how would you sum up the performance from Saracens? A bit stop-start, perhaps?
Yeah, I think stop-start is a really good way to describe it. Ebbs and flows, peaks and troughs, however you want to say it, but it's definitely something we can work on. We've been apart for a long time now. This is the first time coming back together after a long Six Nations, so I think they'll be proud of some parts of the performance. I think there's definitely things to work on, but we part this game, we learn from it, and then we move into next week, and that's an even bigger game for us.
That is a huge game next week. There's all smiles down there from Georgia Evans, Zoe Harrison as well. And it's finished here 54-21 to Saracens.
A comfortable win at times on the scoreboard, yes, but my, they were tested at stages this afternoon. We'll be chatting to Rachel Taylor, reflecting on a gutsy showing from her side. We'll be speaking to player of the match Zoe Harrison as well, and then Alex Austerbury, the winning director of rugby. Rosie, we'll have a look back at some of the tries. Sale have got 2 more games to go, Saracens have got 3, but huge signs of encouragement there for Sale Sharks women going into those final couple of games.
Yeah, they should be really proud of the performance they put out there today. They went out for the full 80 minutes. They probably didn't turn up for the first 10 minutes. Like I said, probably getting off the bus, a long journey down, and just getting it out into their system. But yeah, they played really well. They should be feeling really positive, and if they play anything like they did today next week, they could come away with a different result.
Saw it in the Cup against Loughborough Lightning as well. Lost both of those games, yes, but there was only a couple of scores in it. They looked really good, really strong, and this sets them up perfectly. They've got a big match against Leicester Tigers to come as well. And I suppose for them, that's going to be their cup final in terms of trying to get that win to bump them from 9th up to 8th.
Yeah, it's just those finishing touches. We saw it a few times today. They could have potentially been even further down the pitch if they just got that ball to hand, if they got that kick a little bit slightly further towards the touchline, and it meant that Saracens couldn't come back. But it's just those last little finishes, and that's something that develops over time as the team develops. It's how you play with each other. Rigoni moving back into the centres and new partnerships forming. Yeah, I think Sale are in good place, and I think the Leicester Sale game will be a really, really good game.
Really will be a great game. There's Alex Austerbury down below us as well. Wonder what he will be saying to his charges. There's Mo Bota, Sonia Green down there as well, and like you said, Rosie, Exeter next week is going to be massive. It's always a big game between Exeter and Sarries, but in terms of where those semi-finals might be played, who might be playing each other, so much riding on it.
Yeah, there is so much riding on it, and I think next week will be interesting. With Pack 4 on, we all know that Exeter have a lot of the contingency from the USA and Canadian teams, so it'll be interesting to see what squad they put out, and also how Saracens play it. Are they going to keep building for the next few weeks? Is this the team that they see in those latter games? Yeah, I think it's all to play for, and that's what's really exciting, is that the league is so competitive now. Anyone could end up in that 2nd, 3rd, 4th.
And you can see it there. Harlequins women 28-12 up on Leicester Tigers women. Exeter doing what they need to do, 33-0 up on Trailfinders. Perhaps a bit of a shock that that's as runaway as it has been. But let's take a look then at some of the tries from the second half here. And we'll start with this one from Sale Sharks, and it was deserved. It was Letitia Harper in the end that had the power to muscle over, but it came from Rigoni connecting things in midfield. Yeah,
fully deserved. I think the forwards for Sale have worked really hard when they've got towards that 5 metre line. They've got some big ball carriers, they get their good connections in that latch, and Letitia Harper, fantastic all day and deserved that try.
And Sale, well, they kept going, and the third try was lovely when it eventually came to pass. It was Joe Brown doing what May Campbell did in the first half, and this time finding Sian Jones on the inside shoulder to race away and through. And at the time it closed the game to 12 points in it. Sale building themselves into it. And you could see here that break from Brown and the inside ball from Jones.
Yeah, it was really good vision from Joe Brown, but also just the connections, making sure that people are on their shoulders. That's what Sale have done well all day, and that's what's given them their momentum and go forward.
And then Saracens needed a response, and they found it in the end. It was Donna Rose who crashed over for her side, and like you said at the time, Rosie, it was just about being sensible with the ball and knowing when to attack.
Yeah, we knew we wanted to come away with points here. We don't want to get held up over that white line. It was about being patient, and Donna Rose getting on it to finish it off.
And whilst you're looking at that replay, some lovely scenes down on the pitch as well. The players from the under-12s and under-14s festival this afternoon, posing for some pictures with the Saracens women's team. This was the final, or penultimate score in the end. We thought it was going to be the final score. Sydney Gregson, finally that inside pass from Saracens working and having the power to get over.
Yeah, Sydney's been one of those threats all game, trying to off that inside line, and finally it paid off.
You can see the inside ball in the end did the job, and Gregson powered through. Infante was looking for that one all afternoon. And then Georgia Evans it was at the end that popped up with the final try for Saracens Women. And you can see it here, Sale were looking to go from deep, looking to try and hunt that fourth try, but in the end the kick through was intercepted, charged down, and Evans an easy run in.
Yeah, and it's all about playing till the end. You never know what can happen with the table, and making sure that you play the full 80 minutes and get as many points as you can. That's what's pivotal in this part of the season. So for G, that's a great finish, 80 minutes performed, and I think she deserved that little sit down on the floor afterwards.
A little sit down instead for Georgia Evans there at the end, and there you can see that brilliant shot of some of the people from the festival today with the current crop of Saracens Women. Might be celebrating the history of the club, but it's also about inspiring the future of it as well. We're going to make our way down pitch side to speak to Rachel Taylor as the losing coach, Zoe Harrison as the player of the match, and then Rosie and I will be joined in the studio by Alex Orstbury as well. So we're going to take a very short intermission, and we'll see you down there very shortly.
Rachel, I think it's fair to say that scoreline probably doesn't do justice to the performance your side put in today. How proud are you of what they displayed on the field?
Yeah, I'm really proud. I know that we probably left 4 or 5 opportunities out there as well, which is the frustration bit. And I think, we just chatted in the circle about having the frustration of not getting bonus points at the StoneX, and certainly I think there was a few opportunities or turning moments in the game where we really could have had a go. But yeah, look, we've got to try and finish those off. Those are the bits that we're trying to work to as a team to pick up bonus points away from home. But yeah, look, I'm really proud of their efforts, and we stuck to what we wanted to do, and unfortunately we didn't come away with a point, but there's lots of stuff we can look forward to in the next couple of weeks.
Like you said, plenty of positives to look forward to as well, and plenty of positives out there. Sarries had that surge at the start of the first half, but your side seemed to be controlling the momentum, the territory after that, and Letitia Harper playing out of her skin at prop today as well.
Yeah, there was a few players had a big game for us. I think it's probably something we've picked up with Sarries. They come out the blocks really early, but they've got a bit of a tendency to step off the gas, and I think we knew that if we could stay in the fight. It's always a tough game if we chuck the ball around. Like, you can see how lethal their back three are, and we kind of knew that we were putting ourselves in that position as well. If we didn't get a pass to stick, then look, Jess Breach in space is going to punish us for that, and they did a couple of times. But look, we stuck to it, we did that, and I think, yeah, look, they're a class team, aren't they? They've got was it full international backline today? So look, I'm sure they'll look at that. They'll look at their line out bits as they move forward to the business end of the season for them.
For your side, as you said before, 2 games left to go now, a couple of big ones as well into that business end. So many positives that you can take from today, and like you said to me just now, finishing off those scores, some wins are going to be coming and looking up the table as well.
Yeah, it's always difficult if you can't create opportunities. We struggled, and I think without set piece earlier on in the season, maybe we didn't create those opportunities. Now we're creating them, we've just got to try and finish them. So it's the stepping stones. Look, we're disappointed where we are at the season. We can't hide away from that, and the players know it, the staff know it, the club knows it. But we know that we've got to try and build something special, and the little glimpses that we're seeing now hopefully put us in a good stead for next season. And if there's a chance for us to finish this season on a high, it would mean a lot to everybody.
Brilliant. Well, Rachel, commiserations this afternoon on not getting that point at least, but as you said, so many positives going into the final 2 rounds.
Thank you very much.
Zoe, we're making a bit of a habit of this when we do Saracens live streams. You joined us earlier in the season. You've now picked up another player of the match on the stream. How good was it to be back in that black jersey today at StoneX?
Yeah, really good. I'm happy to be back. Obviously, I only played 2 games before going into the Six Nations, so just happy to be back in a black shirt and playing again.
And we saw how good you are off the tee, but a bit more of that open field play today as well, especially that first Jess Breach try, linking up with your best mate a couple of times. But how much did you enjoy controlling things out there?
Yeah, no, I really enjoyed it, getting back with the girls as well. Like a few of us have come back from Six Nations, the other girls have won the cup, coming back together as a team and showing what we can do. We've obviously got a lot to work on still because we left a lot out there, but it's good to get the first week under our belt and reassess what we've done in that game going forward to the next games.
Like you said, 3 huge games to come. Exeter away next week, the biggest of the lot, I suppose, because it is the next game. But what are going to be some of those things you're going to be taking into that? Because like you said, it wasn't a perfect performance.
I think, obviously, just keeping ball in hand a little bit more. We realised we actually didn't go through that much phase play, and also we were in defence quite a lot, especially the back end of the first half. So it's how do we get it back under control from ourselves, and taking that on to next week. Exeter away, we know is always a difficult game. It's a big battle. So yeah, how can we look at that, assess it ourselves, and go forward?
Going forward into that one, as you said, just a final one. It's a small touch, but Rosie and I were talking about it during the game as well. Names on the back of your shirts for the first time today. It's a simple thing. It's something that should be happening all the time. But for you as a collective group, how much does it mean to you?
It's so simple, but the girls' faces when we walked in and saw all the names on the back of the shirts. It's just so nice to see, and also it's nice for the younger girls to see because they can pick out which one you are, and we're here to play for ourselves but play for them and be role models, and for them to be able to pick up who they're looking at is just great.
Well, exactly as you said there, and as Rosie said in commentary, to be it, you have to see it. Zoe led from the front today, 7 out of 8 off the tee, free-flowing performance. Congratulations and best of luck next weekend.
Thank you.
Of rugby has joined us in the studio. Alex, Zoe said there, not a polished performance, but an important win.
Yeah, certainly it wasn't polished. Fair credit to Sale, very physical. Their offloading game came to the fore. I thought they caused a lot of problems for us, attacking wise and certainly defensively. And around certainly line out causes a lot of problems. But ultimately, 5 points. I thought we took care of business quite well in the first 20 minutes, and then at the end of the first half and the end of the second half. But in the rest of that period of time, I thought Sale did some really good things, and we struggled to find our identity at times. But ultimately, it's 5 points. It's a home, and it's nice to get everyone back together and hopefully build momentum in this this run into the end of the season.
And that's the thing, isn't it? It's all about momentum at this time, and that momentum seemed to fluctuate a fair few times today, like you said. Credit to Sale, they were very, very good in that middle part of the game.
Yeah, I thought that even if you look at the start of the game, it was a really good defensive set from us. I thought we set the tone really well there. Got the turnover, scored in the corner with Jess, and then so we got well established in the game with the 4 tries, and then Sale flicked the switch and then started winning collisions, started to put pressure on, and we made some not the brightest decisions at times, which meant it was error on error or penalty on penalty, and they seized momentum. And I thought we arrested it quite well at the end of the first half, and then they started the second half okay, and then we just gave it away too early, too quickly, and then we were on the back foot for the vast majority of the second half. And if it's not for the couple of tries at the end there, we lose the second half. But again, I thought really pleasing how we ended the second half with that big defensive set with the charge down. I was like, if we could just have a little bit more of that'd be really pleasing.
Rosie picked out Zoe Harrison as player of the match. What impressed you about her performance today?
Yeah, I think you've still got to remember Zoe's coming back from a significant injury. So to have that level of composure, the poise, some of the collision work, and also trusting to make the line breaks. There was a nice one in the first half. So I think it's good that she's getting a bit of time, finding her feet again, and at times some real good management of the game. And I thought that some of her cover D was pretty good as well. But I'm sure she'll agree it wasn't necessarily her most sparkling of performances, but an industrious one for sure.
Well, she was at the right in the middle of Jess Breach's first try, but Rosie, you picked out that second Jess Breach try with that crossfield kick from Sarah McKenna. Just talk us through that one again.
Yeah, so it came from Sarah McKenna getting the kick just straight onto Jess's hands, and then Jess just backs herself really. She's she's got the first person. She's then starting to look up, can see May on her inside, doesn't quite go to hand, but it's the tenacity of Jess to get back, to get to Rigoni, to try and put pressure back on again. And then we just see here, you don't normally see it very often, a winger charging down, but she's got her charge down. And then just finishing it off in the corner. It stems from how Zoe Harrison and Sarah McKenna played together today and their link-ups. There was a lot of communication happening in the backfield to make tries like this happen.
And Alex, from your side as a coach, looking at this end on here, you can see it from the charge. And how impressed are you with a winger being on that fringe and putting that effort in?
Yeah, I think we probably could have made a little bit more of the initial line break, which was quality players, as Rosie's alluded to. I think we just probably panicked a little bit or rushed a little bit there, but then to turn that back round is fantastic.
Obviously, we saw that try there, and like you said, Sale wrestled that momentum back a little bit, but that try from Akina Gondwe right before half-time was crucial going into the break.
Sorry, distracted by all the things going on in the background. I think it really was. We'd lost a lot of momentum in that half, and again, it was a decent defensive stint, and we got into this area, and I just thought that, line out, let's be fair, didn't function as well as we'd have hoped today, but got ourselves a platform, got the drive on, quite disciplined and didn't panic here. It looked like it was about to get fragmented, but did a good job of staying together, and then it tightened back up again, trusted the process, and ultimately, she's pretty difficult to stop in most situations, and that close to the line, very, very difficult. So it was good composure from a time when we've been under a lot of pressure, and it just gave us a little bit more of a boost going into half time, and took a little bit air out the sails of the wind out the sails of Sale, but they got it back pretty quickly in the second half.
Rosie, you alluded to it in commentary as well. There was that try, there was the Donna Rose try in the second half as well. Sometimes doing the simple things well is the most important thing, and we saw that.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's something that the girls strip back to and we've spoken about, is that basics done well actually get us, earn us the right to go forward and go wide. So doing those simple things well, being patient near the try line. We don't want people getting held up over the line. It's a wasted opportunity. So being patient, drawing players in, and then letting the playmakers choose what we're going to do next is what's really important. And our forwards today, they weren't greedy, they weren't trying to get over the line, and we managed to get 2 good tries from it.
Well, Alex, just one final question then. It's Exeter away next week, Gloucester Hartpury at home, Loughborough away. Those are 3 big matches to come. Everybody knows about the rivalry between Saracens and Exeter, but that's going to be a pivotal game for your side.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a real battle for home semi-finals, and to keep building that momentum. You want the mentality of that wherever you go, whoever you play against, you can beat them, and you want that momentum going into it. This might not be the first time that we meet them in the back half of the season. So it's really important that we go down there and we perform. We learn a little bit from today. We execute a little bit better than we did in certain areas of our games, and probably up the physicality a little bit, because we know that it's going to be a battle. It always is a battle, and we've got to make sure that we learn some of our lessons today from Sale and be better for it. And then it's an exciting run in. It's nice having the reassurance of a semi-final, but we want the home semi-final. That's key. Playing in front of this crowd, with the atmosphere that they can build and the influence it has on us as players and staff, we want to be here, so we've got to go earn that right. We've got to earn the opportunity for a home semi-final, and like I say, if we can take care of business next week, we're that one step closer to doing that.
Like you said, hopefully taking care of business next week. That's all for today, though, here from StoneX Stadium. 3 huge matches for Saracens Women to come, all of them on TNT Sports, starting with that match against Exeter Chiefs next Sunday. Thank you to Alex for joining us at the end of the match. Thank you to Rosie for joining us throughout the day, and to Amanda Bennett for speaking to us earlier today as well. It's been a great showcase of women's rugby, a great showcase of the history of this incredible club. And thank you so much to all of you at home for joining us. We'll see you again very, very soon.